Aloha mai kako. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 68 of the Aloha Hour. Before we get started, do us a favor, like, share, subscribe, and do all the right things. The more we grow, the more you grow, we can grow together. And we want to really, really mahalo you for your time and you're sharing your space with us as well on your digital platforms. You know, we greatly appreciate you taking a moment to hear what us brothers have to say. And yeah, thank you very much. And Johnny.
All right, now we're going to introduce our guest for today. He was born and raised on Kauai and first picked up a camera at the age of 10. And since then, he has established himself as an award-winning filmmaker who is internationally recognized as a multi-hyphenated artist for his abilities as a director, cinematographer, editor, colorist, writer, and producer. In 2017, he won 2 American Advertising Awards for Best Commercial and Best Commercial Series for his work with Kuala Ranch, and also won the prestigious 2017 WSL Ride of the Year Award for his cinematography of Billy Kemper's 60-foot wave at the infamous Maui surf spot, the Jaws, with Surfline Magazine naming him as the #1 filmmaker out of Hawaii. In 2018, his directorial abilities caught the attention of Jason Momoa, who made him the director of content for the On the Roam, garnering over 80 million views on YouTube collectively for his videos. Since then, he worked with other world-class actors, directors, producers. He is probably the most influential and impactful creator of his generation. He is Etienne Aurelius.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Thank you so much. I love you guys.
Hey.
Love you.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
You. That was a beautiful intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, well deserved.
Thank you.
Well deserved.
Thank
You worked really hard to get to where you are. I mean,
so hard.
you have you know, I know you for a few years, and you always have like at least multiple projects going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Like you never sit still, and I love it about you because it's inspiring. People sometimes say they don't have time. I have this, I have that, and then there's a guy like you that does like 8 things at the same time, and we all share the same 24 hours a day.
I don't sleep.
So that's amazing. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's funny when you say the projects I've learned since we first met. It's very hard to sustain that many projects now because the level of work has gotten so much higher, and everything takes so much time. So now it's more about time management and hyper focusing on one and having the second grow. And I wish I could do that many, but I'm coming to find out it's hard to do by yourself now, and I don't think it's gonna get any easier. So now it's like team building. It's hard to find good teams.
It's hard to always find a team.
I'm so proud of you. Like whatever you've done here, all your businesses.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know it's just you at the heart, and I know you got some solid brothers that help you with the team, and it inspires me to push to find that. Yeah. Because that blew when I walked into this the
secret spot. Yeah.
Bruh, that's the most beautiful club building interior design energy of my lifetime I've ever seen.
Thank you. Much appreciated. It's always a team effort, and it's definitely about building a team and raising the people around you. You know.
How do you do that? How do you find a good team?
You just gotta show love.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
I always say, hire fast, or better to say, hire slow, fire fast. We hire 10 people, we fire 8, we keep 2 good, solid, with big hearts and much aloha. Those are the ones to stay on the team. If you can't keep up with a smile, you're not one of us.
Yeah. It's a risk to hire people too, because if it goes wrong, they're always going to say you're the reason, right?
Yeah.
When it's obviously them, because no one's getting hired. No, so anyone successful with the ability to hire someone that, you can obviously see they've done good and they are good. If anyone quits, it's always that person, right? Yeah. Unless you know the person's about it. I look at people's friends. How long have you been friends with that person for?
Yeah.
How old's your oldest friend? And then you can tell about a person.
Yeah.
If they have a lot of friends, that people with a lot of friends are usually not.
It's just like when I interview managers or whatever, and they say, I worked here and there and there, and I see the resume. It's like 6 months, 9 months, 8 months, 6 months, 9.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no.
bro,
Yeah,
the fact that you worked at 12 different places doesn't make you a good one, bro.
No,
The
yeah.
opposite. If you would show me a resume, 3 years here, 5 years here, done, hired. You
Yeah.
know? But-
maybe if you built those companies, not worked, that's disloyalty.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
everything. That's one thing. That word, before we get going, aloha, is so beautiful. And with my company, Echo Endangered Culture for Hawaii, I've really been, it's all focused around aloha, but doing deep research and finding where aloha came from. Like what, and there's societies before the elite system in Hawaii that Hawaiians don't know. And the thing is that in order to find Hawaiian identity and for Hawaiians to be comfortable in who they are and not have chips on their shoulders, they need to understand their culture and where they came from, because chips on your shoulders and this pilikea crabs in a barrel style that I experience here is not Hawaiian identity.
Yeah.
And back in the day, to call yourself a Hawaiian was to achieve an aloha state of mind. That because everybody was from all over the Pacific. They would come in and they would hear about Hawaii, and then they would come. And if they found it, the people of Mu, the original Hawaiians here from the Kumulipu, would find you, bring you in, put you in what you call an ohana system. Ohana system was the system of governance. No leaders, just teachers. Heli ikaina ke kawe ke kanaka, land is chief, man is servant. That was the only law. And you learn everything. If the land's beautiful, you know the people are. If the land's kind of dirty, you know the people need help. They're not bad people. They just need help and shown the right way. And the younger generation was the key to everything. So all the old timers, the teachers, would teach them everything. 50 to 100 years of knowledge passed down, give it to them. And the elders would look down at the younger ones and just pray that they innovate, because then that would force evolution. And today, we live in the complete opposite society. So when I see companies like Heli ikaina ke kawe ke kanaka, how is land is chief, man is servant, when you're the one, what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody should put that statement on any of their fucking companies. Sorry. Can we swear?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay, no one
100%.
can put that statement on any company
Yeah.
in my book if you do not do that. Right? Like if you have a faucet of water, shut up about the water crisis. You know what I'm saying? Because Hawaiians for thousands of years lived off the cleanest water. When you buy a Brita filter, that's volcanic charcoal. The whole ground's filled with that. It's the cleanest water on earth. To say that there's a drought is complete insanity. In Lahaina, up above Lahaina, they talk drought. These politicians are lying to us on the day. They just lie and lie and lie. And you can find the truth. Just go on their website. Hawaii.gov's got everything for you, right? Lahaina, just above, you go straight up top, is the second wettest spot on the planet. 460 something inches a year. Okay? And now that I'm just gonna just tell it like it is. It's just, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to aloha. All right? It's passing on these informations. It's doing what's right. It's all 400 virtues in one word. There's aloha and there's the opposite, right? And these people need to know this kind of stuff, because to find your identity as a Hawaiian, to understand what the word aloha means, is to understand the land and what the land means, right? When you go to the Big Island, they say aloha differently over there because they still have their culture, And I just want Hawaiians to succeed, And so up there in Lahaina on that water up there, that's the second wettest spot on earth, next to Vaialeale, which is Kauai. So when Josh Green talks about there's a drought, he's leaving out one crucial word: agricultural drought. Okay, because I know a lot of Hawaiians are always talking about the vai.
Yeah.
There is no problem with the vai. Okay, there's a problem with the agricultural system that supplies the demand. The community down there uses roughly maybe 1 million something gallons a day, while a golf course can use 3 to 17 million gallons a day. And you'll notice that all those waterfalls that come down from Lahaina, they come right down into a golf course, right down into a rich community. And in the bushes of Lahaina, behind, I counted on Google Maps like 250 private reservoirs.
Bro.
Right? And so
Bro.
Kahoma Stream's the number one access point of water, right? That was the blood of Lahaina. When you look at Lahaina from the top, from a satellite, I'm surprised no one's even noticed this, but I'm making a documentary about it. It's a fucking bird. Look at it. And the Kahoma Stream is the tail of the Eva bird. Now, Lahaina's first name was called Lele, which means to fly or jump. Then they say that the guy's bald head was in the sun and it was so hot, and he's just like, "Hell, Lahaina," just like snapping at the head. It's so hot. Lahaina means cruel solar heat. So what we're looking at here is a phoenix to fly, and it looks like one. The grid, the outline, the charred fire, and like I got some stuff that I would love to say, but I it's better to say in the form of like a documentary and all these pieces. But the truth is beneath those ashes, and the Hawaiian Kingdom will rise from that truth, from those ashes. But leadership over there, and I don't give a fuck, because I know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They're pushing the wrong shit. Hawaiian or not, they're lying, or they just don't know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there is no issue with the vai.
I think one of the problems is there is enough water. It's just diverted into the resorts, the hotels, the golf courses, the pools,
Yep.
the all of that,
Mhm.
and they just divert it clearly instead of giving it to
The
everybody.
system's not strong enough to give enough. There's
There's
enough water.
They just
Yeah.
take it for the wrong reasons.
Or they don't pay enough money to build a water tank that can supply
Yeah.
all of that stuff. And
Yeah.
it's just another thing. So when I say aloha, this is aloha. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about when I say that. And so with all of us, I employ everybody. Aloha, a lot of people say mana's power. Mana is art in the Kumalipu. It's artistic ingenuity, creativity. Art is mana. You know what I'm saying? And so use your mana to go and find the solutions. And if you don't know, the government of Hawaii really does tell you the truth. They just don't say it out of their own mouths. You got to go onto the website, type in what you want to know about, just the location, and you'll see all the years of the reports. I've read all of it, lots, like the Hanani Trask and Milani Trask Task Force for the Hawaiian Homelands, and what Hawaiian Homelands is, how they're selling the land to whoever, and then buying land at Malka so they can't develop it. How they said it would $6 billion to end all homelessness in Hawaii for at least a century. But yet the rail is $12 billion, and it takes 12,000 people to sustain it, riding it every day, only to make $1 million. And if it doesn't, we're paying for the thing. So you built this $12 billion project to help 6,000, maybe 12. It goes slower than everything else.
Yeah.
And we could have ended homelessness and put every Native Hawaiian on the list in a house and paid them salary. They wouldn't have to work or nothing, Hawaiian or not. That's what they said. $6 billion. Okay. Well, there's 12. So then it comes to the point where it's like, what the hell is going on? If Lahaina gets $4 billion, I'm just sick of these guys lying to us, because I'm not an idiot, and I just want my people to understand, like, I'm not calling anyone an idiot. What I'm saying is that you need to care enough to go and find the actual truth yourself, and stop following the people in your community that are doing better than you, but providing no opportunity for you to do as good. Right? Everybody's got this, everybody's got that, everybody's got land leases, this. I have the biggest Native Hawaiian contemporary visual archive in the world, the biggest slate of work ever created out of Hawaii. 2 of the most awarded feature films ever made at American Film Market, breaking records. And what? Where's my building? Where's my support? Because Hawaii likes to hold people down because they're too afraid of greatness. They're too afraid of reaching heights that force them to work a little harder. So our art stays right here. The level of art I create, there's no one in the world, dead or alive, that I would not outcreate in cinema, cinematography, whatever. Single-handedly, I've made history as the first person in history to ever create 2 feature films, Academy Award produced, shot, wrote, directed, edited, produced, self-financed, accepted around the globe in international film festivals. Not one fucking word here. You see? And they don't want to talk about it. Because I've asked the government to support me when I went to American Film Market last year. You know what they said? Oh, me and Etienne have a relationship and some past history that you don't need to know about. I don't give a fuck about your history or our relationship. That's not your job. You work for the government. You work for us. You need to support what we create. My relationship and your relationship, off the lies that someone told you, mean nothing. This is about the culture.
Well,
You know?
to that point, let me tell you one thing.
Sorry, get all
No, because I'm
We like
shocked.
it.
Like I'll be straight up. Like, I found out about you via your
Yeah.
on the road moves, right?
Yeah,
With
yeah.
just JMO, and I was like, oh, okay, this guy's
Yeah.
kind of cool. He's kind of fun. Okay, ended up following what you do, and then like, again, I didn't know you've accomplished all of this until now.
Yeah,
and I didn't
yeah,
even know you were from here
That's
until
nothing
now.
compared to what just got done too. Yeah, like you
So-
know what I'm saying?
And again, like
I only had
work-
five. I only had 5 lines.
yeah.
but like I keep an eye on what's going on usually, what's going on in Hawaii, and
Yep.
for nobody to have championed you up to that level,
That's on purpose.
it's fucking crazy. It didn't dawn on me until you were speaking. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. They don't want you to win.
No, they don't, because the level's way too high. It's higher than people in the world.
You think it's the
Yeah.
level, or you think
The
it's
level.
it's because you would expose a lot of things that would hinder the governance of people?
I just got on that train. Well, I made We Are Mauna Kea. They used that film to free the kapunas and win the jury trials. The guy, the lawyer in town, I forget his name, Joey or something, but he's a big lawyer. He represented the chief, Aloha, but he thanked me personally for using that film. What happened when We Are Mauna Kea came out? What happened to that telescope? Right,
Yeah.
but it wasn't that video. It was the people.
Yeah.
But it's how you tell the story. I don't care about what's up there. I care about why is Ike taking 300 Native Hawaiian brothers and sisters of mine and putting them against their kapunas, and why are the police crying, arresting their kapunas?
Yeah.
Bro, I seen that. I was sitting in a hotel editing Harley commercials in LA for Jason. I seen that video, and then I seen, oh, I just want to cry. I seen this woman. There's this real solid, like, you know, like a real woman, bro. Like one Kanak woman. She was a DLNR agent, walking around, real, just proud, like solid. Like I was just DLNR, right? This motherfucker, David Ige, gives an order. Take this Olelo Hawaii manuscript that I have translated and speak Hawaiian to your people. And as she's telling them to get off the property in Olelo, the whole Mauna Kea, Heva, shame on you. And the girl's just crying, bro. And then she drops the mic and right there, it's just like, hey, Jason, I'm going to Big Island, bye. You know, bye.
Yeah.
And then like he went at the same time, you know, and then we just linked up, and we had no plan or nothing. I just did it. But my whole thing was just show what's happening, and Pua Case is the reason why that whole telescope got shut down. That speech was like Martin Luther King of our generation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against science. I'm against irresponsible decision making in science. I'm against anyone that threatens to destroy indigenous Native communities, people's culture in the name or excuse of science. You know what I mean? And then
100%.
raw, like that fucking speech is so powerful. She's like, that's why we're here. So sorry, because it's on us to show the keiki that we can't stand in a way of violence. We have to stand in a way of pono aloha and our kanaka maoli way of being, and with our chants, with our dance. Not one beat, bro. And like she was right, and Mauna Kea is a perfect example of the ohana system that used to exist before the ali'i system. The ali'i system is not Hawaiian culture. That's Hawaiian history. The ohana system is Hawaiian culture. That's how Liliuokalani translated her to Kumulipu and showed that her descendant bloodline is from the people of Mu in the Kumulipu, right? Mu is the original Hawaiians, and Hawaiian identity is the completion of your degree in Aloha. Once you reach a state of mind of Aloha, you can call yourself a Hawaiian because everybody's coming from all over the place, right? So the ohana system is what created Aloha, because that was your degree. That was what you went. And then when you shake it back, the Menahuni, that derived from when Pa'au came over here and wiped everybody out. He was calling them Manahuni. It was crazy. So back when the ohana system was thriving, Pa'au rolls up. Pa'au is the war god that brought the elite system, the war priest that worshipped the god of war who brought the elite system here. When he first came, like 1280 or something like that, he pulls up and he's wearing white, all white. And the Hawaiians or the Mu were like, why is he wearing white? It's a little sus, because white symbolized death. So when he was there, he was acting real nice, brought gifts, all kind. The gifts he was giving were from the dismembered and killed people on the way to see Hawaii. And so he sailed through the islands and was acting real pono aloha. They were teaching his ways, and everyone's so kind. You're talking about a society that has no conception of violence whatsoever. That they don't even know what that is. Okay, the land, like when they pick a plant, my brother, will it be okay if I have one of these fruits? Right? Fish, animals, everybody's brother, sister. The land was everything. Land is God, like, period. Like, that's why when guys wanted to buy land, Kamehameha III was like, what are you talking about? You cannot own land. That's like owning Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when Pa'ao was seeing all the resources and all the beauty, Pa'ao was in beef with his people over there. You had the Fijian king eating everybody. Like the Tahitians are eating everybody. Like it's just pure darkness. If you look back then, that's Satanism. They drank blood. They ate people. Okay, this is like it's the purest form of devil worship. His god was the devil. So after he did his kindness and everything in the book, it speaks. Then one day Pa'ao was gone like death itself, like gone. And so then they labeled him the man who wore death because he wore white. That's where Ha'oli came from, not Captain Cook. Captain Cook reminded them of the Mo'olelos that talks about the man wearing white. Okay, so it's like these are go look in the Ohana system. You're gonna find out a lot more, right? So it's so beautiful in the book. It makes me want to cry every time I talk about it. It'd be the best movie ever. So the one speaking in the book is a kahea, and she's speaking from the Mo'olelos passed down for centuries. But she's speaking in the first person of all her ancestors. So she's talking like she's them, and she says one day there was a disturbance on the beach, and people seemed excited to greet visitors. But the more we looked, the more it became a little, suspicious, because the visitors were from one horizon to the other of war canoes. And they were blowing horns in a way that symbolized death. Boom, boom. And she says, all we saw were the sails of thousands of canoes stretching from one horizon to the other, and red mallows. Red mallows. Red mallows. She kept talking about red mallows. There were so many red mallows that the ocean had a red tinge to it. And then in the middle of all the red mallows stood the man who wore death. And when that guy landed on the shores, he mass murdered nearly 1 million people who had no idea what violence was. They learned that day that could happen to a person. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really sad. So the Mu, they know what's going on because their number one thing is intelligence. It's people. Genius is power over physical. And there's a beautiful quote. It says, how foolish is the man who thinks their physical mana can move the rock at will, when the courteous mind of the power of your mind asking the rock, would you like to be a part of this project? How fast the rock will move itself to help you build your own temple. Talking about levitation. So when you look back at Kamehameha lifting the rock, did he lift it or did he ask the rock, help me lift yourself? Can I please move you? Right? That's how connected they were with the land. When you look at what happened with Kamehameha, Kamoli'i, Kauai was never conquered, right?
Yeah.
No one could get there because the ocean and the land would not let you, right? Because Kauai was where the Kumulipa was written, in the back of Vainea Valley. I've been back there with a helicopter. It looks like Avatar. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in life, ever. Vainea Valley. That's where the Kumulipa is written. I looked at where it was written, where the waterfall like they're talking about.
Yeah.
I looked at our Genesis location. And it's like Keith Robinson owns that, and he owns Ni'ihau, where there's pure Hawaiians living, talking straight Olelo, cruising. But that's the lineage of Pa'ao that's over there. So not Mu. And so this is a crazy story. So like when the Mu saw what was happening, they knew because they came from a world where, in the accounts of all the books I've read, Lemuria, which Kalakaua drew, right, the stingray shape when all the islands were connected, we were like the Mount Everests of Lemuria. Hawaii being the wettest spot on earth. Look at Vaialeali. Yeah. Why is there a Grand Canyon there? Yeah. Kauai Waimea Canyon is as big as the Grand Canyon, and that's not a tectonic crack. That's water. So imagine a river that big. It's like the Colorado River in America. It goes from the top of Vancouver all the way down to Colorado, all the way down to Mexico. So in the days of Lemuria, Kauai being the wettest spot on earth, that canyon, picture Waimea Canyon full of water, because the Alakai swamp's that full, right? And so these are just beautiful things. And Kauai, that's why Kauai is 6 billion years old, 6 million years old, so they say. And the rest of the islands are 3, so the island is so sacred. Kauai, that's right, it's just a beautiful island. Like Aloha, my family has Hawaiian homelands over there since Hurricane Iniki. And Aloha is one of those places where the power and the mana is on another level. So anyway, the energy there has always been Mu. So when you look, not only Kamehameha got dirty lickings trying to go over there, all of a sudden the sea just starts splashing. Yeah. A-frames, canoes is flipping. And whoever, Kamoli'i didn't have to move his finger. He just asked the land, can you guys go to war real fast for me? And they don't. I've read accounts coming from Kumupo'i, who's the descendant of Auntie Luahini, who's told me what I'm telling you, right? He's like such a beautiful man. He passed away, but Hawaiian priest, never married, never had boyfriend, girlfriend, nothing, just straight, asexual, happy, beautiful, kahea, you know what I mean? Just the highest level. And so he's telling me what I'm telling you, and that's my job, is to share what Uncle Kumukoni told me about this stuff. And they're so connected to the land that they can will it at will, like their hands, you know? So it's like almost like Kamoli is conducting a symphony, like raising the water. Vroom, vroom, vroom. I want to make movies about this, bro. But when you read Kalakawa's books about the story of the Iron Blade, it's exactly the same as what Kamehameha attempted to do. So there was a king that came before Kamehameha who did the same thing. He ended up winning all the islands. But the Kahea who held the war god Ku said Ku's only allowed to leave Big Island if Big Island's under siege. Ku doesn't go and attack people who are, especially Mu. You know, so the Kahea is like, no, I'm taking Ku back to the Big Island. You're going to lose. Everyone will die. I don't see your death in the stars. And she hanai'd this little boy that was a general. And she goes, I don't see your death either. But you got to go over there. When you have the opportunity, you got to leave. So they go over there. They pull up in Nawili Wili in the story. And it's just empty. And so in their minds, they're like, oh, they knew we're coming. They fled up to Vaialeale. We'll go get them in the morning, right? But this is how foolish people are. They go in there for Kalapaki Bayas, okay? They set up shop. They're just like plundering all the stuff, right? They didn't realize that on their way into Kauai, there's millions of coves, right? Or thousands of coves. Yeah. All the war canoes are buried in the sand. All the Hawaiians are in those coves in the mountains. They already know you're coming. They already know. So they're all in the mountains. And so then the next morning, the sun rises. And Hawaiians like to go to war when the sun rises because you get blinded. That's what Ha'amanu did when she smoked the French and the Portuguese. She just, ahi, boom, 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 shooting all the things. So they wake up to an alarm clock of just boom, and they're just like, what the hell? And it's coming from all around them. The only way out is the Wili Wili Cove. And so they look, bro, and guys just start coming. They see figures rising all the way to Kipu, everybody, women and men. Women wearing hula attire, going to war, using their instruments as weapons, lighting guys up. But hula fighting. You know what I mean? Imagine films like just holy shit. And so the guys, so it's women and men, and they're just killing everybody. Guys are just getting smoked. And in the story, it says they've never seen anything like it. Warriors of all descent, all race, all gender, just elite. And so they start the boy, the general, who's the innocent boy that the Kahea really loves, sees his moment. He's like, I gotta go. So he calls a retreat, and all the warriors are like, we're gonna just die. Like that's their Spartan style, right? He's like, I'm not. So he goes. A couple guys follow him. Because only a couple guys followed him, he was only able to board a tiny little canoe. So he hops on the canoe and he starts sailing out. Another squadron over here, like on the left side of the Kipu side of Nawili Wili, there is a large war canoe that also has a squadron of his people trying to leave. So now they're going, right? Just movie, bro. So the ship, he says little small crappy canoe, which is a Hawaiian canoe. And there's the big one over here. Then all of a sudden, they see on the horizon, it goes black with sails. The Hawaiians are just coming in from the back now, just full on. And they're just like, oh my God, okay? So they're approaching, and then the Hawaiians start going, the Kauaians, they start going past that little canoe, and they just see the Kahea. And like the Mu people know what it is. Like a lot of Hawaiian Kumalipus, they look at you and speak, you know? That's why there's no written language in Hawaiian. I firmly believe why didn't they ever have an alphabet, right? The hula is, right? But it's more like, it's beyond what we could ever think. It's such a beautiful society. So they look at him and know that his destiny is to survive, right? So they just look and they let him go. And then it says, I forget the boy's name in the story. I think it starts with a K. But to his surprise, he would then see something that he would never forget for the rest of his life. Out of nowhere, like more war canoes had departed for the retreat, right? The biggest canoes built for the most toughest seas of their conquest began to rapidly flip, capsize, and warriors from under the water who could fight underwater began to ascend out of the water and jumping on top of the canoes and grabbing guys and taking them down, never to come back up without wounds. She said people were falling off canoes without wounds. And these warriors were warriors who fought underwater. It says it, you know, he said he'll never forget it. Because he just couldn't believe it. The canoes were just flipping. And it's the same exact thing that happened to Kamehameha, but we don't have the accounts because no one was there to survive, right? And I don't care if it's a myth or a legend. No, it's not, because how would it have survived that long? They're not just making stuff up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this actually happened. Because Kamehameha the Great wouldn't try to have done what he did if the guy before hadn't done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is facts. So like when guys speak about the facts of the royal monarchy and the contemporary Hawaiian culture that we know today, they only speak of the photographs and these books. So you can read what I just said in some of these books. And I just need, if you're a true Hawaiian, you're not going to worry about facts, because our DNA, and there's all these scientific things, can hold 13 billion years of information, whatever. It's all inside of you, right? Just do some research. Or like you, if I told you write me a sentence in Hawaiian, you would. Even if I don't know if you do or not, but even if you don't know how to speak Olelo, or you do, I guarantee you could form a paragraph in pure Hawaiian right now if I told you to. Because you know how many street names?
Yeah.
You know how many people's names? You know how many people's names and what they mean? And so like the other night, I just started singing in Hawaiian, making a rap song, straight Hawaiian. That made sense, And it's so easy. This is the Hawaiian dictionary. You just need to know what I, if, me, and, but, and you're good, And a lot of people I see, they're scared to Oli. I used to be. Everything I'm saying, I used to be afraid of.
Yeah.
Not afraid. I'm not really afraid of anything. Cautious to be embarrassed, right? But at the end of the day, as I grow, being embarrassed is my favorite thing, because it's the most motivational, powerful thing you can ever experience. Consequence is the biggest motivator of change. And being wrong is the only way to find the right answer, right? Everyone's always so concerned about being wrong all the time. They'll burn the whole building down just to be right. And I'm like, I used to argue with them, and go all the way, ready to fight. And it's just not worth it, because it's like arguing logic with an animal. They are so afraid to be wrong, they will do anything to not. They'll go around and tell everyone that you're this and that. And a lot of times, like good people like us, for say we fire somebody, and we're not going to do that. We're good people. But this person's got to be really messing things up if I fire you. And so I do. And everyone I've ever cut, they go around and tell everybody the stories they heard that I told them people said about me that were lies. Okay? And so they go and say all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then they say it to people that love me. Now, this innocent person, mostly girls for some reason, I gotta be careful with hiring, sorry. Because filmmaking is a very dangerous, hard business, man. And so sometimes it's so, the expectations that are put on you for females are very tough, man. And so sometimes girls are elegant, beautiful creatures that need to be treated like queens, right? They can't be in the mud like that. You know what I mean? Like they got to be given direction. And they get overwhelmed with the pressure, and they cannot do one thing right, not one. And I start to get frustrated. This is where I learn I need to get an assistant director, so I'm not the one telling people what I, feel, because sometimes they can't accept the truth and it hurts. Yeah. So when they quit, they'll go around and tell someone that really loves me, this. Now, the person who hears this negative comment, they feel shocked, right? Because first off, they think they trust this person for the same reason I trusted this person, okay? Second, they feel betrayed by me. They feel betrayed that I would put on this elaborate lie to make them feel like they should trust me. And that's how they get people to come up against me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, you can't care what people think. I'm like, you have to. When it's affecting you all the way up to the government, backing 2 fully created feature films with Academy Award producers attached that have opened the New Zealand Film Festival, the Maui Film Festival, Melbourne, Australia Film Festival. I get nominated for 3 top-tier awards at the Hawaii Film Festival. Accepted everything. Invite me to the event. I lose every fucking award to bullshit, to movies that suck. Okay? Not from here. One's from here, made by all Howleys, which was a script stolen from our camp at Jason Momoa. Pa'a, Thomas Shivett, best writer ever. They sent out the script to Hawaii a couple years prior to get guys on board. They just rewrite it and call us and say, hey, we're going to shoot it. So if you want to be in the film, you got to speak up now. What? Howley's telling me this. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Direct? He's like, oh, we just wanted to help you edit. But you know who you're fucking talking to, bro? Like, what? Get out, like, you, what? So then I find myself competing against this film. Okay? Oh, it was COVID independent, blah, blah, blah. Bro, I blew up buses with bombs at Kuala Ranch in my film, okay? I have creatures with bortas coming out of their face, like Alien, on the highest level. The people who made Avatar, Lord of the Rings, Weta Digital in New Zealand, co-sponsored the movie and did the CGI and the sound. Fucking Avatar. Like, they did it because they believed in the vision. Now, if all these entities, and then the woman, Taika Waititi, you know who that is?
Yeah.
His wife's my producer, his ex-wife.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's who produced the movie. Okay, like, just wrap your head around the level, okay?
Yeah.
It's the greatest Hawaiian film ever made thus far. Because it's until my second one comes out. But, like, I'm not bragging, this is facts. Like, I don't speak about, I'm not bragging about my work, by the way. I'm just speaking the facts. It is. And so, when I get nominated for 3 awards, and I'm sitting in that table, in the back, next to the guys, right? And then they're telling me, oh, we don't know how to distribute our movie because it's all in Olelo. That quote ended up changing my perception in the future. So I'm grateful about that because I created the market for Hawaiian films by going to American Film Market last year because there was no market to sell our movies. Okay? So I will get to that. So I'm sitting there just so stressed out because you have to understand, like, this is my dream. When Hawaii Film Festival denied me 10 years before that with a Taimani Gardner music video called Jupiter, and it's the greatest music video to this day that I've ever seen in Hawaii, ever. It's all in a white room, and Taimani's playing her ukulele, and she's not singing a single word, but yet you're going to watch the whole thing because she's just so beautiful, killing the game, right? And I sent this thing, and I remember, like, I had just gotten out of prison, so, like, I spent all my money on making this thing and directing it to get my life back because I had nothing. Everyone hated me, and Taimani believed in me. So we make it, and I remember sitting at that computer for 3 months straight, staring at the fucking email, hoping they get back to me. So they get back to me 4 months later just to tell me that, sorry, we can't, you know. This is an indigenous ukulele artist who's the greatest in the world, and it's the best music video she has till today. And no one in any music scene of Hawaii has a better music video besides. No, they don't. It's the best. And Landon McNamara's, I made all his too, and those are the second best. So, like, how are you gonna not pick that? And then I looked at the nominees, it was all holidays, Japanese playing and bullshit, all crap. And I'm not saying because I'm better than, but I am. And why are you picking? Like, I'm a fucking Hawaiian. Like, why? And my talent works against me. How this is? It's the consciousness of the world. It's not just here. Talent works against you in today's day and age because it threatens to displace what they're used to. As to the Ohana system, that's all they wanted. They want you to be better than everyone else. They want the answer. They want the innovation. They want evolution. So, like, we're stuck in a society right now, globally, that does not want to evolve in any reform.
Let me just
Sorry, that
tell
was a
you.
rant.
No, I love it. But let me tell you one thing. You know, in my opinion, and there is no right or wrong. It's just my opinion. I feel like the only reason why they don't elevate you as you should be, is because you are a guy that cannot be controlled.
100%.
And they control people.
That's the only reason.
And when they see you and you do what's right, what you feel like, and you go after your passion. They're like, oh, we cannot have that loose cannon. We don't want to support a loose cannon because who knows? Today is doing Taimane, tomorrow is doing Mauna Kea, and the next week you're gonna fucking fucking film everything we do in the fucking capital. You know, in the fucking.
But what they're doing is what's gonna make me do it. You know,
100%.
I just want to give everyone their control back.
If they would elevate
I would
you,
help them.
and they would feed it, like, oh, you know, then you wouldn't be as determined to go against.
I have to change it in order to help everyone else.
100%.
The people, I just want to give people the control back. I want to give them their own destiny. I want to provide the opportunities. Like my company gives free marketing services of the highest caliber to any Native Hawaiian business or person that wants to be platformed. You just got to work and show up. Free. Like $100,000 campaigns for free. Anyone that's Native Hawaiian. And that's the craziest part. That's why I have my nonprofit. But it doesn't matter. They can't stop me.
Yeah.
Because those people are what I like to call mid-level professional status. Then there's the low level. No offense. They love me. Like the people who are down here who want to get somewhere, they love me. That's who I'm talking. And I'm not saying down there is bad. Because if you're down there, that is the best place to start succeeding. If you're right here, the worst. if you're right here, it's more like I'm gonna do it when I'm ready, because they think they have the luxury to be ready. People down there, they're ready. They
Hungry. Yeah.
They have to be ready or they're gonna die,
Yeah.
right? And then there's the people that are like about 70 to 80%. Those are the enemy. Those are the worst. So the mediums are the haters. The 75% are the people who have a little power, and they'll do everything to block the 100. And if the 100 know about me, it's immediately just pushing them out of the way. Where is he, right? And so like my friends are Kuala Ranch, John Morgan. It's the biggest tourism business in the entire state. They started my career. Frank Among is the reason why I have everything I have. And Makua Rothman, that's the world champion. Kai Lenny, that's the world champion. Billy Kemper, that's the world champion. Latin American, that's the most streamed up and coming artist we've seen in our lifetime. Like Taimani is the greatest musician. Kimmy Warner, the greatest skin diver. Who else? Jason Momoa is the biggest native Hawaiian actor of all time. There's no coincidence I'm there when he succeeds finally after 20 years. You know what I mean? How do you even know who he is? It's from what the videos of his character. Had the movie come out, Aquaman, without what I created, what happens? I gave the world their perception of Hawaii today through Jason Momoa. That's a fact that cannot be disputed. Because tell me one person that has given anybody any insight on that level, on that platform, on that stage about Hawaiian culture. Like, name one. And so that's why I'm going to turn up. That's why I come on here. Because I've been working 4 years at building what I'm about to launch. That's going to change everything. And so this is me just telling, if you're listening, get out of the way or jump on board. Because it's going to be able to give everyone their freedom back. Like, it's going to be able to give them all they've wanted to do. My movie sets are going to be schools where kids are speaking Olelo. Camera assistant, AD, director. The actors are going to be Hawaiians. It's just going to be a Hawaiian functioning, talking, and creating set in a nonprofit educational setting. And now the schooling, like summer fun programs, they're making series that we're selling to Netflix, because I have a global distribution deal with a big distribution company. I'm the first Hawaiian to ever do that too. It's like it's one after another, where I'm accomplishing Herculean feats in the dark and being ridiculed all the time by all these assholes that talk shit. And I'm just coming here to talk about it because it happens to a lot of other people on different levels all the time. And we got to just stop hating on each other because someone's better than you. Like, I am jealous of absolutely no one on the planet, like at all, because I am capable of doing anything they can do. I'm inspired and I want to learn. Like, I just get so happy. Like, when I tell you, how many times have I told you how happy I am for your thing? Now, if someone else is in business doing what you do, they're not going to be happy for you. You know, like, I truly am so happy. Like, I want to cry. I'm so happy for you, right? Like, that's the passion. That's real aloha. So to say that, like, I'm crazy, or to say that I'm violent, there's always talks about, like, you know, violence and this and that. And then all of a sudden, no, I'm not this. Now I'm the only one that's been to prison for a year in the feds. Like, I came from the hood, red dirt, poor, nothing, food stamps, fleas, no hot water. My mom tried super hard, but like my parents are just the reason I am the way I am today, and why my daughter will never ever experience something like that is because what I had to go through, and people are learning as they go. Like, my mom, she did a great job at teaching me how to believe in myself, and she was also learning about herself at the same time, so she couldn't be as much of a parent as she wanted to be because she didn't have my dad. And my dad, it's just, at the end of the day, it's like, bro, it doesn't matter what the fuck you feel. When you have a kid, fuck your feelings. It's about that.
100%.
You gotta do it.
I don't give a shit what you want, what you feel. Oh, no, fuck you and your feelings. And if you
100%.
cause a problem, if you argue in front of my daughter, if you cause any situation that is allowing my daughter to be exposed to a manner that involves you being insecure, go fuck yourself, right?
Yeah.
And that goes for anybody in the world that displays any type of behavior in front of my daughter, whether it's a woman or a man. There's no bias. I don't see people as like that. I see human beings. If you're a girl and you want to talk crazy, right? Men
But let me
cannot
ask you.
be.
Let's
Yeah.
go back real quick. I just want to say, so you grew up in Kauai, right?
Yeah.
But then you moved to the North Shore. Or
I was born in Wahiwa, and I moved to Kauai at the age of 5. I lived across the street from Hanalei School. I was late to school every day. Yeah, it was crazy. My mom taught the media class. She went to USC Film School back in the day. My mom was Miss Hula Bowl, Miss Hawaii, and the lead dancer of the Don Ho show. She was like super popular back in the day. back in the like Casimiro days kind.
Wow.
When
Yeah.
Robert was a young boy, you know. She said, Nephi Casimiro, open the door, just guns on the door. You know what I mean? I love the good old days, bro. I love the violence, bro. It's just, it's so bad today. You know what I'm saying? This generation, this younger generation, they don't even do their research on who you are because they don't even know who the fuck they are. They have no idea. These people, these kids were robbed of their imagination. They grew up, these parents over here got screwed over in 9/11. They have no, you know, their prime is taken from them. Kids crying, here, take the iPad. My daughter ain't getting no iPads, bro.
Yeah.
And they read. And so if kids can look at an iPad and type in an answer and get it right away, they don't have to imagine it. Back in the day when I grew up, everything was imagined.
Yes.
So now when I tell them we're gonna do this, they tell me I have to see it. You don't see it when I'm talking, they don't have an imagination. Sometimes I tell people, close your eyes and think all they see is black. You know what I'm saying? So we have to really appreciate the fact that we have one. We need to protect that in our kids because instant gratification from Google will create instant gratification in life for the child. And everything is expected. So these kids expect respect, but they don't even understand that they're being disrespectful. You know, it comes with finding out who you are. And then we're circling it back to Hawaiian identity. Once Hawaiians start to understand where they came from, who they are, what our history has been, just like it's healed me, it will start to change your life in so many ways because you'll start to, they don't have anything to connect to. They don't have anything to be proud of. They don't know anything about it. So when you start to go back and we have a literal Bible history, like we have a Noah's Ark, we have all that. And we don't even know their names, but we know Noah's. You see what I'm saying? And I just encourage all Hawaiians to do that because what I did that evening and boy went to sleep, that changed my life forever. Because
Is this the reason why you went to jail?
no, this was back, no, I went to jail 10 years before that, but it was the reason I almost went back because I went to jail for something very similar. And it's like a 10-year
How old
cycle.
were you
When guys went to sleep?
No, when the first time you went to
20.
20.
Yeah, I'm 34 now. Yeah. So this happened 5 years ago, I think.
And the first time was because of
I had worked for Ruka. I was like making my films and doing everything, killing it with Makua. We created we built Ruka with Pat Tenori from the ground up. BJ Penn when he was doing his thing. And then I was just like directionless kid, 19 years old, getting into clubs, breaking the law 24/7, living in California. I created the first ever videographer job at a surf company with Ruka. Pat Tenori gave me the $2,500 a month. I thought I was rich. 30 grand a year, I'm rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every money goes the first week, gone. You know? Then I'm a rock star.
Give it to a girl.
I used to ride my bicycle to work every day. Yeah.
How much you rent?
Yeah.
I made $2,500.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Take it
no,
all.
I go right to the mall and think I was just straight Lil Wayne. Yeah. It's gone like this, like that. And it's not enough. So, like, yeah. And I did that thing and then I went to Hawaii. Dude, so coming to Kauai where it's just barren wasteland, Wild West, psychotic trip, then going to the mainland. And getting a really bad drug addiction in the process because you're like alone and you're lonely and you're by yourself and the drugs are the only thing that can get you through this trauma of being separated from the island. And then going from watching on the TV BJ Penn beating Kenny Florian and standing there being like, oh my God, I can't believe that guy's from Hawaii, to sitting next to him in the locker room when he's gonna fight Nick Diaz, right? Through his whole training camp, right? And
That's epic.
It's crazy, bro. And so after that all happened, this is at the point where everybody was fucked up on those oxy pills, like everybody,
Yeah.
the whole entire surf industry, like Andy, everybody. Andy just died, just died right before this all happened, and everyone you see doing good right now, that's the boys. They're all down, like bad, the worst of the worst. But I'm the only one that went to prison because I took it to another level. While they fell back onto whatever their wives or the rehabs, I got sent back to the motherland in Kauai, and for me it was like survive. Right? And I'm a fucking gangster, bro. Like, I grew up that way. That's plain and simple. And I was like, you know what? With the mentality I had, I was like, I'm just going to start taking whatever I want. So I was just robbing tourists, like, houses on the regular. I have an article in the newspaper you can see. Mugshots, $50,000 bail, made the news. My bail was $150,000 at the end of it. Because the shit went down. I had a huge high-speed police chase. Just
In Kauai.
24 felonies. Yeah, a lot. It was bad. And I was facing like 10 years. I remember 15. I remember like the third time I got popped, that was it. They were like, you're not getting let out. And I remember like sitting in the hole, like the segregation unit, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs and crying because I always knew, I always believed I was going to be a huge film director. I remember on the ground rolling and screaming as loud as I can, "I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry, God." Over, over, and like I just think about the correction officers that night. They were like they were really sad for me, you know, like they're just like the halls were just echoing those words. "I'm so sorry, God. I'm so sorry, Mom." Because it's like you're accepting your life's over, you know, like when you get popped like that bad, like $150,000 bail, that's just under a murder. There's no way you're getting out for like 15 years in your head, right? And so I just went from like this took like 4 months to happen, you know, and like no dad, no direction, nothing. Yeah. So it was really healing. So I was in there for 100 days, and then my auntie put her house up, and then I got bailed out. And then I was good for a year. I changed my life. The Hope Chapel in Kaneohe really helped me flip everything. And I got an amazing girlfriend named Ashley Childs that really helped me during that whole time. She wrote me letters every day in prison. She was from the church, and I got out. And then, unfortunately, like, you know, life plays its toll, and the film industry is not one that Christians really like to participate in. And I really, really had a passion towards it. So we kind of grew apart. Sorry, but I really appreciate her so much. And so that church is a huge reason why Hope Chapel. Like, it doesn't matter if you're religious or not. They will love you.
Yeah.
They will. And so I got my stuff. So after a year or 11 months, I went to go get sentenced. And now the picture seemed a lot smaller, where I was like, okay, they committed to only give me the maximum was a year, but I could have 5 years of probation and not go to prison. And I get a deferred acceptance, which means they wipe it off my record, everything, if I ace Hope probation, which is the gnarliest probation you can fathom. You have to call every day. And then I'm thinking, like, okay, I'm going to go home, get sentenced, get probation. And so the prosecutor was literally telling the judge, we don't think he should go to jail. And this prick named Randall Valenciano put me in prison for 7 more months. Like, so you're just doing great. I got my job back with Ruka. I was going to start the next month. I got my girlfriend. I have my life turned around. Dude, fuck prison. If you can do that, that's the point of prison, right?
Yeah, reform, right?
Send him back. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was crazy. So then I remember like looking at my mom behind the glass, and I like threw down the court papers. The sheriff's like, you know? And I was just like, what the fuck? I was just free, and now I'm going to go to prison for 7 more months. And I helped so many people too. And the prosecutor was like, he doesn't need to go. And then the judge is like, you need to pay for what you did and for getting a deferred acceptance to wipe it off your record. I think this guy was just a racist. I just think that he has a hater and thought I was a spoiled brat. And to that judge, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Because that wasn't cool. But at the same time,
what's his name?
Randall Valenciano.
Randall, go fuck yourself.
But at the same time, thank you. Because that time in prison was beautiful in the sense of it made me even stronger, right? Now, I don't know what would happen in my life. I could be way more ahead. There's no chance I'm losing, but who knows? But in that prison, I also met great people. Sadly, a few of them died when they got out in police shootings and stuff, but I should have brought that photo. I'm like flexing like this, with just like all the Uzo fam and the La Familia, the West Side, and all these like gangs. I was just like Switzerland in that place. I could just chill with everybody. Yeah. Shout out to my friend like Dustin Spencer. He passed away. Well, I in the police thing, I guess he got out. He was running from the cops. He had a boy, like a cool young kid in his car, and he didn't want him to get wrapped up in the life. So in the high speed chase, he brought him home, dropped him off at home, and then kept going. And then he had a police shooting and died. You know, and so sorry. It's just crazy. Like people that I've lived such a psychotic life, man. And
wow.
You know, I remember. You know what was even more crazy about Valenciano? When it was time for me to get released, I had no release date. There was no release date. None.
But you said 7 months.
Yeah, but there was no release date. I said, I'm supposed to get out today. And they're like, no, you're not. I'm like, what? Why? They're like, well, we don't know your release date. Bro, my stomach went. So I would have sat in there for years if I was someone that didn't have, you know, a brain. And there's a lot of people in there that are mentally ill that are in there for no reason. Lots. I saw a few of my friends that had lost their minds. Friends I grew up boogie boarding with every day, going to contests. One hit a meth and their brain's gone completely. Like they talk normal if you talk to them, but the second you stop talking to them, they start like, man, like, and the prison system, they should. I truly believe that they should be reaching out to people like me and others to be more interactive with the prisoners. Like go in there, maybe make like a little home video or something. Like let's direct a little movie in there or something. Let's do something. Like let's give.
But
people
that was
some
in
work for it.
Cali, like the over here.
The airport. They shipped me to the feds. So it was at the federal detention
They
center.
said air conditioning, huh?
That's the best jail ever. Yeah, it's good. It's like basically like you're trapped in a hotel. You basically can do anything you
With
want.
hoodlums.
Yeah. Bro, one time, oh my God, prison stories. One time, so my cellmate chilling in the cell, and I hear a woman's voice. What was that? It's coming out of the toilet. So they drain the toilet, and the pipes go down to the women's floor beneath, and the women speak through the toilet to the prisoners at the top, and they communicate what's going on. And I don't know what happens in this one, but I've just heard rumors. They correspond where to meet during the kitchen hours, right? In the mainland, and then someone gets pregnant. I don't know, but they don't know who they're meeting. It's a blind date, right? And so that was very interesting. Communication through the toilet. I didn't participate, but I was just like, did I just hear a voice come out of the fucking toilet? And then the Mexicans in there are really great at like making things. Like they could take like the foil of the chips and make these crazy ornaments like Tyrannosaurus Rexes, like 3D print, right? They make all these bowls. Like in the feds, you have like a menu you can order every Friday. It has like cappuccinos and cookies and crackers and shoes and MP3 players and radios and all kinds of crap, like everything. And you have you don't have a fridge, but you have a locker, and you can like make your cappuccino and like think you're doing good in life. Like the routine is so funny, bro. Like, you get all your setup, and you're like, okay, I'm good. And then like 2 days later, I want to go home, you know, bro. And so I even won the title in there. So there's handball, like there's a wall.
Yeah.
We have no rackets, so it's just hands. And like, dude, guys get serious. They should make that a national sport. It's just like boom, ba, and you're spinning your hand, you're hitting it. Bro, first session, I had a gash in my hand this big from the rubber ball. And then over time, I would wear a sock. And they would just make fun of me every time because it hurt my hand. But then it got hard enough. And then me and my man, what's his name? I forget his name. He had bright blue, Pono. My partner's Pono. And we won the tournament. And so if you go to the Federal Detention Center in Honolulu, you'll see the second name on there is mine.
Let's go.
For the title for the handball. It was fun. It's a very sport. You felt like a kid again. All the prisoners would line up and they'd be like, come on, bro, hustle, let's go. And like you're tired and you're going. I had like a 6-pack first time in my life. When I got out of prison, I was just taking my shirt off everywhere. Any excuse. Be all clean cut and just so institutionalized, you know, and just like, yeah. And then, yeah, dude, it was crazy. Like when I got out, it says 2014 in April. And I was like, still just stupidly optimistic. Yeah, right now life is very different. I'm not as optimistic as I was, and I think that's why people are so good at as musicians younger, because they can write stupidly optimistically. Because when you get older, everything you write, there's a consequence behind the meaning of that word. So I could do it great now, but before, when you're in a flow, you get more. I'm trying to break my mind of that cycle, but when you're younger, take advantage of the creative. I call it creative ignorance because it's good. And so when I got out, I would ride. I ended up getting a job. Makua first thing told me come to the house, and when I was all messed up on drugs, Eddie Rothman had given me a camera, my first camera ever. Eddie gave me my first camera. Eddie Rothman, Eddie and Makua Rothman are the reason why I am here today, flat out. Not Jason, no, them, period. And then Frank Among, and then my girlfriends. I credit all of them to help me in some way. And so he gave me my first camera, right? When I was all messed up on drugs, I just sold that fucker. No problem.
Wow.
Zero fear. This is so stupid, bro.
Shit.
So then I go to jail, and I guess Eddie went and found it and got it back. And so when I got out, he told me come over, and he sat me down and told me he loved me, and he gave me the camera back.
Wow, what a
You know what I'm
legend.
saying? Yeah, such a legend, bro. And then
What a legend.
Makua was on his way to win the first world title. He just won a contest that put him in that league. And so then I just immediately went back to my best friend, and we started doing that. So remember, I had my job at Baruka, right? And then I had to go to prison. So then the next year, I still wanted to get it back, right? But I didn't end up doing it because I was still in the rehabilitation process of life. I took a year to fix myself. If you're on drugs, it takes 1 year to fix your mind. So don't think that 1 month you're going to be fine. At least 1 year. At least. Like if you're going to quit any gnarly, you will not be okay.
From
until
Oxy?
Anything. Any full-fledged addiction.
Yeah.
You're lucky if you quit opiates. I straight quit. Like nothing. Like just forced it. It's the worst thing ever. You'll die. Like 1 week to 2 weeks, they say. That's the biggest lie on earth. It's 1 week of absolute hospitalization levels of death. But after that, it's months and months and months of feeling like you want to die. Like you don't want to kill yourself. You just wouldn't mind if you died. That's what I felt like. I remember just sitting there, just crying, being like, why don't I feel anything? So like I would complain about my emotions before. Like I feel too much. That's why I'm an artist, right? But then when you don't have emotions, it's the worst feeling in the world because you have no motivation. You have all you feel is rage, because a rage is kind of everything in one, right? But you can't be motivated. You can't think. You don't know what's going on for months. Okay, we're talking 6 months at least. I felt this way, and they don't tell people that. So before you,
Who helped you throughout that time?
to be honest, my fucking self. I had the worst possible environment, from my parents to, people that are close to me. They were going through their own problems in life, whatever they may be. I don't hold it against them, but I don't forget, like how disrespectful and inhuman, what do you call it? Uncompassionate, whatever. They don't know anything about this stuff, right? As a parent, you should do your fucking research. You know what I'm saying? It is their fault. And I always argue with people, like my relatives. They blame it on me. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take responsibility for everything I did, but I didn't know.
You needed guidance.
Yeah.
You needed love. You needed someone that.
Yeah. And my dad just like, he knows he's just a bad parent, but like I do love my dad a lot. But he just, sometimes when kids have hard times with their fathers, they remind, when the dads are around the kids, they remind them, the kids remind the father of their failure in life. And so it's hard for dads to be around kids sometimes. And that's what I see in my father, where he feels like he didn't do enough. And he feels, because he always is telling me sorry. Meanwhile, the other side of the family, I never get a sorry, right? So that's where I can see, because like my accomplishments, you think you'd be proud.
Yeah.
But it's even more so, like, it kind of, but I just got to tell him, like, it's okay. I haven't told him, but I will eventually. But like he has a new wife now and stuff. And I'm happy as hell for him. But somehow he's conjured up in his head that I'm mad. Like, where did you get that from? Like, I want my parents to be happy. Like, I want them to, have a good life. So, yeah, I just think, like, all parents watching this, because, your parents aren't going to listen to you, no matter what you tell them. You're going to scream and yell. They're never going to listen, because they're going to just teach you and teach you and teach you and teach you and teach you. And that's something that all those generations of baby boomers need to take in, that, hey, the way life is that you teach your kids until your kids know everything you know, and then let your kids teach you what the world's like. You teach us how to turn on the computer, we'll teach you how to use it. Okay? Like, the government we live in today is a direct result of this stupidity in humanity, where they don't want to pass the torch on. They don't want to leave their position. They don't want to, like, dude, it's crazy. All these senators in here, like the corruption that I've read in Hawaii.gov that they've been in trouble for, all of them. Everyone in office has had an investigation on them, and they did it, right? And so, you know what they do it for? So, like, we have $100 million project. They'll take 30,000 to greenlight it. Hey, I'll give you that 30 grand. How about you don't greenlight the $100 million fucking complex of the Royal Hawaiian Burial Site for 20 grand, right? I firmly believe that every politician should be paid like $1 million salary, every single one, because they don't get paid enough. And they definitely want to go into corruption as a result. You know what I'm saying?
Which remind me, before I wanted to say something.
Yeah.
Before I wanted to say
Yeah.
something, and I forgot, when we were talking about art, and I can't say which senator told me, but I literally have an email in my email when I had the Gallery Waikiki. He said, "Look, I love what you do. We have a budget, an annual budget for $4.5 million that department has to spend
Yep.
on art.
Yeah.
And he told me they're doing a horrible job.
Mhm.
I said, what art? Where is it? He said there's storages and they buy all kind of art and
Yep.
statues and all kinds of stuff and
It's money laundering. That's what it is. They're making-
annual 4.5 million taxpayers' money. And they don't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
I
What about the Hawaii tourism? 20 million.
That's insane. Well, but they just dumb.
Yeah.
But they used to bring a lot of Japanese. They used to do a lot of stuff.
Give me that money and I'll make movies so the world will come here.
100%.
Let's make a TV channel. Like I have all kinds of stuff I'm set up already. A global indigenous streaming platform called Indigenius. Like a independent genius. Like indigenous. And it's I am in the process of licensing every indigenous film ever made from Whale Rider to Once We Were Warriors, Life of Pi, Slumdog Millionaire, all the biggest indigenous films ever made, okay? And they will be on this platform, like Netflix. But then they'll also be a film festival selection that's every annually. So you have like Toronto, TIFF, Berlin, Cannes, and they have their sections. All the indigenous short films that have been accepted from those festivals will be placed on that streaming platform for indigenous to watch this never-ending stream of top-tier content, because indigenous filmmakers go crazy. There's so many great indigenous filmmakers out there in the world making stuff that goes to YouTube.
Yeah, where do can I ask you a question about that whole culture of film festivals? Because I kind of don't get it. Like
complete bullshit. Yeah.
Well, and like how you said, like they discredit you and they don't want to put you on there and whatnot.
Political. Yeah.
So is there routes around it where consumers like myself can go directly to specific, or do they refuse to show the film outside of the film festival circuits? In order, like for instance, like if I'm trying to watch something from somebody and like fuck, I can't find it online for the life of me. I did this. What is his name? Alamoana Boys.
I seen this trailer for that. Like funny. Yeah, I forgot. Which one? The Clowning 808's one or?
No. This is about what is his name? The guy who got killed by the Navy men.
Sua?
Kahahavai.
Sua?
Joe Kahahavai.
Oh, different one.
Keli'i.
Okay. Wait,
So-
he got killed by Navy men.
No. There's a story about
the Chris
Joe.
Diddy?
Joe. No. This is before.
Oh.
This is before Diddy.
DD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Joe Kahahavai. It was when they blamed him for raping some Navy man's wife, and so the Navy guys killed him.
Oh,
and then long story short is the Massey trial.
Uh-huh.
And then long story short, the fucking judge claimed the Navy guy, okay, you're guilty of murder. Spend 1 hour in my office and then we ship you back to the mainland. You're free.
Not.
Yeah.
Wait,
it was a really
really?
bad, yes, for murdering a Native Hawaiian.
Wait, wait, spend an hour in my office and go back?
Yes. So that was his sentence for murdering a Hawaiian.
The judge said spend an hour in my office and go home.
Yeah.
When was this? What year?
This was, God, it had to have been like the 70s or 80s.
Oh, it's like contemporary time. Like, not old.
Before that?
That case is what started the Honolulu department.
Oh, so this is back in the day where you could pull that. Where you could overthrow nations.
Yeah.
That kind. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy.
Joe Kahahavai. But anyway, I did a song for this guy, and for the life of me, I never saw the film. It's never seen the light of day other than the film festivals, and I'm always wondering, like, do you not put it out because
It could have been really, really, really not of caliber.
Maybe.
Maybe. Your song was good, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Well,
but
did
is
you
that
see it? Did you see the movie?
no?
Okay, that's why.
Ironically, but I know the story.
It's
But
very hard to make a feature film.
so when they do short films,
sorry.
do they just do a lot of people just keep it in this circuit, or can they release it outside of this circuit?
They can. So the short film game is like trying to be noticed.
And
So
then when you
make
try to
it-
get somebody to invest in you,
it's solely to get noticed, to either believe in you. Like the guy who directed Black Panther,
Mm-hmm.
that guy made a short film and got plucked right out of there straight into Black Panther. Kidding me? Like I would run circles around these guys. Seriously, there's no one in the world, not one person. I respect like Denis Villeneuve. He's a great director, but no chance, bro. They can't do what I can do. Period. No one can. And so that's why I'm blessed with this gift, and like the government and people from Hawaii need to be championing this gift, like they did Taika Waititi. You know what I'm saying? When I was in Maui Film Festival, I had the director of the film festival tell me I'm the next Taika Waititi, like straight up. Like she had my movie open the biggest indigenous film festival in the goddamn world. I was walking into the theater. There's 1,000 people on both sides of me. I got the Academy Award nominated only woman ever in history producer. And there's a New Zealand kahea chanting. Oh, I felt like so honored, bro. Like walking in, chanting like we're elite, sitting in the front, and I watched the whole room cry to death. And then when the movie was over, no one got up. Everybody waited for the Q&A. And I just championed Hawaii and what we're doing. Why did New Zealand pay for my movie to get finished? Why is New Zealand the biggest film festival in the world? I opened the whole movie. I opened the whole festival. But yet Hawaii, the same movie, Hawaii Film Festival. I will bash that film festival to the ground. You know, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm the best ever. And the fact that they want to subdue me, talk shit about me, make it hard for me, not support me at the American film market. Why didn't you guys make the Hawaiian genre of film a thing? Why am I the only Hawaiian to ever be signed to a distribution company creating the market? I wish I had the book, but I had the magazine. When you go to American film market, $1 billion a year is spent over there, okay, in movies. That's what creates everything you see around here. On the screener's guide, the magazine, I had my movie and Kapo, and it said The Age of Hawaiian Cinema on the magazine. You know what was the next page? Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. The next page, the new Avatar. Okay, like that level. I had to spend $13,000 to get that cover. And then another $15,000 just to have a booth. And then the money for the flights. And the government didn't give me one fucking cent. Fuck all you guys. Like straight up, I don't want your help. I want a different division of the government's help. Like I want OHA to step up. I don't really want to work with anyone else but OHA. And for that reason being is that I know that I can champion this culture to a level that has never been seen in their entire lifetime. And except for the days of like when Elvis was coming over here. My godfather is Tom Moffat. You know what I'm saying? Like legal godfather. Michael Jackson, Eminem, 50 Cent, Britney Spears. My uncle pioneered this crap, bro. Like I grew up in his house. Like every Auntie Sweetie's still alive, but the Waikiki Shell's named after my fucking family. Right? My daughter's family is the Gartley Hall of the UH Manoa's photography room. Right? Like, bro, the roots run deep. My family lineage, my mom's dad is 100% Hawaiian from Waipio Valley, Kini. They're like one of the first on the list to get Hawaiian homelands back in the day because he got it first. And then he passed it down to my mom's sister. So, like, this is what I'm talking about. And so, sorry, to answer your question, short films, that's what happens to people. They make them, and if they're just good enough and they're controllable, they'll give you opportunities. They'll give you grants, but just be quiet and just make it for the film festival so we can invite our friends and just cater them around. I wonder what the budget for the film festival is. The government pays for that.
Do they?
Yeah. They might not say they do, but why is Donnie Dawson controlling?
Wasn't there a North Shore Film Festival?
That was mine.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
yours,
no
Yeah,
shit.
right?
that's mine. Yeah.
At Turtle Bay,
Yeah,
right?
there was like, that was the biggest event they've ever had there in the ballroom. That thing went crazy. Yeah, I had the worst experience going up into that. But I just, like I said, team building's hard. But yeah, I financed that too. 30 grand out the fucking window, you know? Who's spending that kind of money on community events out of their own pocket? I financed everything. Over $3 million I've spent in the last 4 years on what I'm doing for solely the people.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't made a cent of that back. Not one, but I will. Like hundreds of millions off of it when it all goes right. And it will go right when you start doing things like this, right? This is the first time I've ever said any of this in public, but I've been sitting on this for years, you know, having to just go through it and pick yourself up, and all my partners giving up, everyone telling me to be like peaceful, don't be violent, don't be this, don't be that. I tell them, bro, I'm not trying to please the people that want to be pleased, because you go meet a CEO, meet you. Do you guys not like me? Do you guys
Love
not,
you.
right?
Yeah, you're solid.
I love you guys too. Look at what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Something. Anyone doing something is gonna love each other.
Yeah.
Right? And people not doing nothing may know someone doing something, and they'll ruin it for that person and for me, so they don't have to face their failure. You see what I'm saying? This podcast is like Solid, man. I love you guys. And I looked at the caliber of people on here, and I'm like, this is what I want to do my first podcast on, and just straight talk. I don't care what anyone thinks or says.
Yeah.
I'm just me. Like I've cried 3 times already. I've spoken more Hawaiian education than anyone you will find in my generation in the last 30 minutes. And I'm here for the culture. I've done more and I've accomplished more than anyone in the history of filmmaking at 34 years old. As a 34-year-old. Like
Yeah.
George Lucas, Spielberg, they were like 36 when they made. My movies are way better than
No,
Jaws.
that's hands down.
Yeah.
Nobody has this kind of resume as you have.
And
That's hands
why
down.
is it so hard for me?
No doubt.
You know, this reminds me of is when Max Holloway had like 11 wins at the time, and they weren't even talking about him doing a title shot. And I remember listening to this little audio snippet, him talking to a random radio station, finally turning up. Oh, what's going on around here? You know,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was just getting into it, like
Yeah.
because he was just a quiet person. And I follow these people's careers, like a FBI investigator, like Drake, Lil Wayne. I know how to blueprint it. There's no coincidence that everyone I have worked with. Let's just go. Jason Momoa, McCoy Rothman, Landon McNamara, Billy Kemper, Cole Rothman, Eli Olsen, Nathan Florence, Jason Momoa, Nicole Scherzinger, Maine Kinimaka, Kuala Ranch, Ruka, Surfline. Like, dude, there's so many. Oh, Red Digital Cinema, Leica, Harley Davidson. Okay, like, when are the only times that you have ever heard about them on a regular basis is with me in the beginning, making the stuff, bringing it to the screen. Cole Rothman and Nathan Florence, they have their vlogs now. They work really hard doing it. How do you think those things started? Right? I had no influence. I remember throwing 3 premieres in a row at the Modern with 1,000 people at each
I remember
one.
that.
Remember that, right?
I remember
3
that.
in a row. I was giving them their world title awards, announcing they won the world title at the Born and Raised thing on Fox.
Born and raised. I remember that. That was
That
sick.
created their relevancy.
That was high end.
Thank you, brother.
That was
Thank
high
you. We got
end.
to do more like that.
That was high end.
That series just got bought. That's going to go into
The Born and
production.
Raised one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna
that was
we're gonna
high
go.
end.
Thank you, brother. But you see, like,
That was clean,
I did
bro.
the entire event single-handedly by myself without a single human being. And so it's better to do by yourself those kind. It's really just ordering a projector, and But, Landon played. But you see the world and the atmosphere we had built then? I built that universe for Hawaii, right? How good was life back then? Yeah. So, like, when you, I don't look at, like, things like I'm helping this person. I look at how can I create a world? Every day I wake up, how do I change the world? And, like, during that time, what I was doing was influencing the whole fucking world. Like, the way the surfing was making their videos, the way Travis Scott and Dwayne Johnson's videographers have directly credited and said my work on the Roam is what inspired Mom Look I Can Fly on Netflix. Like, the style, Dwayne Johnson's stuff. Go look at it before Jason's, YouTube hired me to make the first ever celebrity templated profile of 24 episodes for YouTube Red. They paid me $150,000 to make a YouTube channel. They paid me, So it's like, then we spoke at Sundance. Me and Jason and the director, Brian, his other director, we spoke at the Sundance Film Festival in front of Deadline and all, Vanity Fair, Hollywood Reporter. And next to us was like Kylie Jenner's people, Will Smith's people, but they weren't there. It was just Jason and I. But Jason was a superstar at this time. It was the biggest it ever was. It was crazy. And I just remember sitting there talking to these people about how I built vlogs. Like, come on, guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, built the template of YouTube series. And that's what YouTube built the algorithm around, which Koa and Nathan guys utilize.
Yeah.
Okay. And then all these guys, they'll make like they helped me. Like somehow this is the mentality people have when you help them. Oh, like, what did I gain off of you guys? All I gained is momentum. You guys have careers, right? And I still make triple the amount of money you do off a conversation of a good idea. And they fucking can't stand that, bro. They hate that, right? Like, I would call my friends, I just made $200,000. So stoked. And they were pissed.
Why, man?
Right? You know what I'm saying? Why are people like that?
But to be fair, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk shit. But the circle you had back then was very like bucket in the crowd, crabs in a bucket.
100%.
That
well,
was
surfing is.
It's
Surfing is.
that fit to your circle at
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
Where, yeah, they were pro surfers, but they needed someone to show it to the world.
Yeah.
You can be the greatest of your craft if there's no someone next to you filming it,
Yeah.
documenting it, and sharing it to the world.
Yeah.
Bro, who the fuck cares,
And
bro?
telling your story,
Yeah.
not just the waves.
Yeah.
You know, I made these guys look like superheroes. If you watch my
Yeah.
my whole reel, you can track their careers. Just go up to the library, you know, and you'll
Yeah,
see
yeah.
all the way to Jason Momoa.
100%.
On my Instagram, it's all there. It's like an archive, and that's why my company now is an archive. The Endangered Culture of Hawaii is an archive of what we have done as human beings, and it's a living digital archive of the contemporary nation of the Hawaiian Kingdom today.
So tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about what's your, the presentation that you sent me, that you texted
oh
me.
yeah, the Elite Atlas. I was right here.
Yeah, I wanna
This is
talk
gonna be-
about that.
This is the beginning of everything. Yeah, this is the start of all
Steezy,
of it.
you're gonna love this one.
Yeah. So this is the start of all of it. I'll pull all this stuff out. So at the launch of the Keep It Aloha podcast, gala, it was a gala, like the first anniversary. Everybody went there, but I was the only one that wasn't on podcast there because like me and Kamaka, I loved what he did with bringing people on to tell their stories, and he created, like you guys are right now, a place people can make it in Hawaii. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's like what I could do, but you guys can do it in a phone call. Okay, once you guys are gonna get real big, Brian, just know. I just know, and you guys are gonna be like Fox. He's gonna be like NBC, and we're gonna have that here. It's gonna be beautiful. Just keep doing it, man. And the idea for him, I was like, hey, listen, like you don't know what you have. You have an archive, bro. You have a living census data archive of living Hawaiian people. So I collaborated with him into my company with my huge media library that tells stories, and then we created the Echo, which is the archive. And people don't understand, this isn't just an archive, bro. This is the census data archive that shows the existence of the living nation of Hawaiian people.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the point. Because census data, whoever has that has proof of a nation. And then I can create tribes. I can create a tribe because, hey, everyone says this. And now that tribe, I don't want no money from the government. I'll go buy land, and I'll submit my census data to everyone in this archive, the part of the tribe, and I will have Native American rights on the land here. Casinos, like that. That's how you do it. And that's why I'm doing this.
Brilliant.
On top of the TV show. So like this is the start of it. This is the Elite Atlas. No one's ever seen this yet. So I remade the entire Native Hawaiian archive of the kings and the queens using like this Pixar technology that reconstructs their faces into real eyeballs and stuff. So you get to see our monarchs for the first time in color. And they're 9 feet tall, 4 feet wide, each one on a canvas, because I thought that was the level. Like, couldn't have them just rolled on some lazy bullshit.
Yes.
And I didn't want them painted. I want this. So it took me a long time to make this. You can see it. And so, like, look, maybe have the second, third, fourth, fifth. Look at Buki, Governor Books. That's Kamehameha the second. Their eyeballs. You see what I'm saying? And so, this is so beautiful. And Frank Among, oh my God. So like about a month and a half ago, I called Frank from Kuala Ranch and I wanted him to sponsor it because people can sponsor a mural. They get their name on the plaque right there. And then it says the name of the monarch. And if you they all come with a QR code on a plaque. If you scan that QR code, it takes you to the biggest biography you can find on the internet on my website of that monarch. So it's an educational treasure trove of understanding who they are. And the whole library is in color. So all the Hawaiian nation and the monarch of public archived record will be in color now. 6K resolution. So all the stuff we see like on the news, it's black and white. No more. In color.
Let's
alive.
go.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Alive
and
is
then
right.
the AI, I have them actually alive. I put him through it. So this isn't the AI technology didn't remake them. I did. The FBI uses this technology. You put all this, you put all the sketches you can. You line them up, and then the thing will like grab it and do some stuff, and then create points. And you move the points to fix their facial structure, and then you can put eyeballs, and you make real faces of these people. And then I colorized it using like a Technicolor method because these were films. It was film, and you have to make sure the royal orders are the right colors and stuff like that. So I redid it all, and now understand these photos have backgrounds which they originally came from. This is just the Elite Atlas gallery, but the photographic library will be the original photos they're in. These actual photos with their backgrounds. And so anyone can go access the archive for free. I'm trying to launch it with Star Bulletin because they're in the same building as Restaurant Row.
Yeah.
But this piece will be 128
So
feet
it
long.
will be in Restaurant Row.
Yeah, yeah.
Here in Kaka'ako in Honolulu.
Yeah, on the
Okay,
hallway on
perfect.
the Malka side, you could just access it. You could cut Iolani.
Oh,
It's so beautiful, you know
my
what I mean?
goodness.
So it's like, that's going to be the middle one. Look at Kaha'amanu. No one's ever seen Kaha'amanu before.
Do you color eyes?
No, but I like that it's green and brown. We don't
Yeah.
know. They don't
Yeah.
know. There's no record, but she just feels ethereal. Yeah, like
Oh,
Beautiful.
usually the only photo of her is like literally like a child drew, like the face. You can't tell. She actually looks like a kanak, you know?
yeah.
And so then this is the rough draft, but this is a Kamehameha, but I need his stance to be more powerful. I'm going to change this. We're just working on a Kamehameha, but the one that exists, we're using his sketch to use the facial points, but he just looks so tired and withered in the photos we have right now. And a lot of kapunas tell me that he was having PTSD when he was older and stuff. So he always looked really stressed out and withered. That guy killed like hundreds of thousands of people, right?
Yeah.
You would have PTSD. Look at his photos. He's just like a shaking old man, you know? And I want him to look like that's the QR code. So like, it says Kuala Ranch, Kamehameha #1. Oh, and then as a gift, I was gonna announce it here. I'm gonna give you guys one of these plaques, but you can't pick the monarch. I'll pick it for you. But we'll
Oh,
put you guys a
Wow.
part of this because you guys are archiving the culture.
That's
See what I'm saying?
insane. Thank you, man.
And so like
Thank
it's
you.
everyone a part of the art. You'll also be on the wall next to it.
this is tremendous, bro.
Thank you.
This is really, really good, especially
yeah.
It,
That's what it used to look like. See?
Oh, brah, let's
Then
go.
watch the new one. This printer kind of messed up. But watch. See?
Ooh.
But the printer, this printer messed it. It's actually much more beautiful. But you can see how clear they are. Where's the Emma one?
So crazy. You know,
Look at Emma. You see that?
oh, man.
It's crazy, yeah? But it's actually rich blue. Look at that clear that is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Like
insane.
you can look
man.
into their eyes. Look at little Kalani.
It's tremendous, bro.
Yeah, the clarity is next level.
You know, I like, oh, man, it really brings life to,
Right?
it brings you there
Yeah.
and what it must have been like alive there.
It
you
feels
know?
like it's yesterday. Like we
Yeah.
photographed it yesterday. There's like the logo. It's like a Hawaiian shark tooth club.
Yeah.
Ali'i Atlas, Kakako Waterfront. Write your name on the walls of Hawaiian history. But yeah, it's just the difference. You see the Kamehameha the same.
You can literally take field trips to this.
Yeah, no, that's what
Just
it's point.
set this up.
Tourists can go. See, so this is the wall. This is what it'll look like. See, lined up
Yeah.
one by one.
Ooh.
Albert Kamehameha right there. There's the archive. So you can scan the QR code and it's gonna take you straight to this on the website.
Brah,
And
let's go.
The sponsor gets like a side panel about what they do and their history as well. And that can be a press releaser. So anything they do, it can press release it for them. Like and so you get an all color library of each monarch.
That's next level, man. I'm so proud of
Thank
you. This
you.
is
That's Puahi, Bishop. And she's a
Oh,
baby.
wow.
Crazy, yeah. There's Victoria. Some of these are going to be removed because I spoke with the archivists and the authorities the other day, and they didn't. Some of them they feel like Pilikia, so
Oh, really?
there's two that
Oh.
shouldn't be there. But
Oh, okay.
I just put everybody, and I let the people decide.
Yeah.
But that's Kaha'amanu's sister, Kaha'amanu the second, third, Kamehameha the second's wife, third's wife. Look at Auntie right there, Auntie Ruth.
Bro, she's the one in the
Hammer, yeah.
I seen her. She has a nice portrait in the unemployment building. Don't ask me why I was in the unemployment building, but I was unemployed for a little while. Yeah. No, not like this.
There's Kalakaua, everybody, Leaky,
Oh.
Victoria, Kohio. Look at Kohio's I have a photo of Prince Kohio flying in an airplane, and he's like sitting in the seat, and it's like wide open, and all these people with their hands up. Kohio was a rebel, yeah.
Yeah, well, he was the one that
Killer.
he's the I grew up in Nanakuli Homestead, and he was like the man, bro.
Oh,
that
the
set up the
man,
homesteads.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
amazing.
Like, right next to my daughter's house. See, that's the hallway.
yeah. Oh,
See how the hallway's gonna do that? It's big, yeah. It'll be a huge hallway. So
Ooh.
right next to my daughter's house, Kohio's house, his mansion on Pacific Heights is. Like he was the first house in Pacific Heights, and so somehow her mother works for the guy that lives there, And so I would go over there a lot, and there's a grand piano there, and I sit down and I play Koyo's piano.
Wow.
His
That's legendary.
floors are koa wood floors. Isn't that sick, bro?
That's amazing.
We should have I'm gonna maybe talk to that guy. Maybe we can have an event there.
You know what? It feels so
Yes.
beautiful that you wanna, you know, your
Bruh.
passion for the monarchy for Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's amazing and it's inspiring. And before we started the podcast, I think we were talking about Greek mythology and
Yes,
and you
same.
know, and I think this is so true. I never thought about it until you brought it up.
Yeah.
Like we have our own mythology
Yeah.
of Hawaii and the Greek mythology is like so famous and being taught everywhere in
way better.
universities and
Yeah.
yada yada yada, and you can
Yeah.
see it. But we have it right here, and
Yeah.
it's not being brought to the light that it should be
Yeah, at all.
until you came and said, "Fuck, I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna take a stand and put it where it is." Because for hundreds or
hundreds
years,
yeah,
it was
hundreds.
been just put down and
Yeah.
put down and
We've been oppressed for hundreds of
oppressed,
years,
man.
of the highest level.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
By Hawaiians. Let's get that straight. By Hawaiians.
Well, you know-
Suppressed by Hawaiians.
Well, they were
Who
influenced,
have
man.
no aloha.
They were influenced
Which
by
means
colonizers.
Oh, yeah.
They were,
For sure.
you know, they were blindsided.
You know what it is? They don't know their culture. That's the only reason why. Like, if you're a politician and you don't know anything about your history, you have no aloha.
Mhm.
And so I don't care about the blood. Hawaiian's not a bloodline. It's a consciousness. It's an identity that represents a nation. Aloha is the consciousness. Kanaka is a bloodline.
100%.
Kanaka Oiwi is a bloodline.
Which is goes back to your ohana. What is
Yeah.
it called again?
Ohana system.
Ohana
That's
system.
it's the original Hawaiian mu. Yeah.
Now that's something that Lili Uokalani believed in,
That's
and she also did not come of blood, right?
Mhm.
Wasn't she like?
She translated it from where I'm talking about. The Ohana system came from why she was able to become queen. And she
Ooh.
translated the Kumulipu, which showed her descendants
Oh,
through consciousness, not blood.
bruh.
Because her family, so they would believe they passed on mental energy, not blood. So if you're the daughter of so and so, the DNA has the mana. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there couldn't be Kanaka Maole is a 100% Hawaiian, 100%. So people identifying as Kanaka Maole have been lying the whole time. You see what I'm saying? It's Kanaka.
Yeah.
Right? Kanaka Maole is 100%. From a few separate renditions, Wahi Bishop's rendition, Keanu Asai said that on Kamaka's podcast. Then I did my research. Then out of like 10 people I spoke with, one said that that's not even the name at all. And then the rest were like, Kanaka Maole is been generalized into who we are. But yes, it is in proper English. And all those words come from the Kumulipu. Right? It says Kanaka, it's all from the Kumulipu. And so as the bloodline begins to change, it should just be called, there's people with Mu bloodline out there that don't even know they have. And that book I was reading has their last names in it. And I plan on going and finding those people.
Wow.
Like
That's
the
big.
Mu blood, just if people knew their identity of Hawaiians and the Ohana system and how respect for the land is everything. If you're saying Haley Ikaina Kekawa Kekanaka on your business, that's like ridiculous, That's land is chief, man is servant. This isn't a word to just put up and think it's cool. That was the law. That's the Kumulipu law. That's what you so beautifully said that Liliu Kalani did believe in that. And that was the society she was trying to create. The new constitution was built in resemblance of the Ohana system. That's why they said it gave her all the power. No, it didn't. It gave everyone the power. The Ohana system. She built the constitution in the framework of the Ohana system. You just made me realize that.
Yeah. Well, you look at the very
I gotta read
end,
the
right?
constitution even more now. Yeah,
To
no,
the
it
very
is.
end,
Yeah.
right? She said no violence.
Yeah,
She didn't
yeah,
want.
exactly.
She's like, no, this is not
yeah.
the legacy we're going to
Yeah.
leave going forward.
Yeah, and so that's why when Pa'ao came, that's right. So the Mu went into the mountains when Pa'ao began to murder everybody. When all the Hawaiians began to die, he brought the Tahitian Ali'i system, which was slaves and royal blood. Kamehameha was born in the prophecy, kind of like Dune, like the movie Dune, to
Yeah.
destroy the system. His whole mission, that war was waged off of destroying the religion of the system, which was sacrificial, eat people, drink blood. Like Pa'ao, when he killed everybody, he would do it like every month, but he would wipe out hundreds of thousands of people. Captain Cook guys have accounts from previous sailors that had come that there was a pyramid of bones that stood like 100 feet tall. I mean, a pyramid of skulls that stood 100 feet tall. And he would fill these pools of blood. You could go to the Heiau right now. It's called Mo'okini Heiau in Kona. I went there with BJ Penn, and it was the darkest place I have ever felt in my life. The energy was so thick, you could literally move your hand through the souls that have. Dude, there's a rock there that they would crush your skull on, and there was a big tabletop rock, which I have no idea how anyone moved, that they would put them there, and then the blood would drip off the thing, and it would go into an ahupua'a system, and the ahupua'a system was blood, not water, and it would go into these little jacuzzis. So he had his bitches over here, then he had his elite over here. He had his own pool, and he had his kids' own pool, and they would swim in the blood like it was a jacuzzi and drink it, and they would die in the most horrifying ways so they could adrenalize the blood. Sounds familiar, you know? It's just Satanism on the highest level. That's what Pa'ao brought here. That's what Tahiti brought here. You go look at Tahiti now, look at the karma they have for what they've done. Their citizens are beautiful women, but the men carry a darkness like no other. Yeah, I know some good Tahitians, but they're mixed, yeah? But I've been to Tahiti, and I had like Matahi Joyex and Raimana, and those are good people, but go deeper, you know? Go deep into Tahiti, and you'll see the red in the eyes. You know, it's not their fault. They were colonized bad too, but there was a lot of karma from ancestors that they had to pay. And Hawaiians, I feel their karma is all paid up, in my opinion. That's why Kamehameha was crying every time. You know, Kamehameha would cry all the time. When Kaiana came back from China, because Kamehameha said, go with Captain Vancouver, go with the boys, and go find the key to uniting the islands. Then Kaiana betrayed him after, but Kaiana came back, and Kamehameha thought he was dead. It's 2.5 years had gone by. He hears Kaiana came back. Boom, hops on the boat. Boom, goes through Kaiana. He boards the vessel. Kamehameha does not believe he's alive. He sees Kaiana for the first time in 2.5 years, and he runs up, hugs. They fall to the ground, and they cry for 3 hours straight. And so the captains and everybody, they dare not fuck around because they're in territory, right? They just sit there, royal guard, for 3 hours, and Kamehameha and Kaiana cry, holding each other for 3 hours. You know, the love.
Crazy, yeah.
The love, bro. After the battles, he would cry for weeks. Kamehameha would just cry after he would win. Because he's just killing his people. Like, just crying. It's crazy, man. Those people need to read our culture's history. It's so beautiful, bro. I know some other shit that would just blow your mind. That like there are descendants of the elite that are still alive today that don't know they're alive, that had fled during the war. Individuals like Kaiana. You know what I mean? They say that he died at the Battle of the Puli, and that they stopped the war. And when they stopped the war, is when he was killed. And Kamehameha mourned his death and pushed everyone off the cliff after. That's like, one account, right? But there's another account that said he stopped the war to realize that he wasn't there, and that he had escaped. Now, I don't know if this is 100% legit, but the people who are telling me it are pretty legit, and the people that are living are legit. And there is a village just above Canada in Alaska called Kaiana. Okay? The legend of this village, told by the Aborigines there to the writer, was a couple hundred years ago, a strange, large man wearing red cape, pulled up in a large canoe they had never seen. And there's like, the canoes are carved in the legends of the tribe up there. And they didn't like him, but he was so big, they were kind of scared, so they just left him over there. And Kaiana.
Yeah.
They just call it Kaiana, like gross. They just thought he didn't like, but to everyone else, Kaiana was beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And there's living descendants right now with the last name that know that story, but the story doesn't know where that guy came from.
Wow.
And then someone told me, I think the boy, he might be Mahu, and he has a boyfriend or something. And so that boyfriend, the boy doesn't know. And so the whole, see what I'm saying? This is fresh information. But I would love to go investigate that. I would love to go up to that town. Now that is the most exciting thing I can think of right now for the Hawaiian culture.
It's amazing. You just go and
Yeah.
chase mana'o everywhere
Every
and
single
chase
day.
some mo'olelo.
Yeah.
And
Every
'cause
single
that's
day.
that's some-
You'll get addicted to it once you try.
yeah.
It's so beautiful, bro.
But these are great things that people
Yeah.
would love to hear. You know,
Yeah.
I know of friends who are just excited to hear that all this is
Yeah.
this is happening.
Everybody,
You know?
everyone that's Hawaiian is gonna get excited, unless they are semi-successful. Like, and then they'll get on board after. But a lot of people won't understand in the beginning. They're not gonna. They're gonna just be suspect about it, right? There's no one's gonna be really.
Yeah, but-
Everyone will be happy, but the people that are active and doing things will attempt a rebellion. But no,
Good.
we're gonna win.
But that's the point,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that the point to find the truth? Like you said earlier,
Controversy.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm wrong, prove it.
Yeah.
Let's work together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't have an ego for the
Everything I'm
the win.
saying, I was told by
Yeah.
Kapuna, and everything I'm saying, there are details in there that will be realized to be slightly different, slightly truer, and will grow from there. But the baseline, it will never change.
And
what
that's
happened. Yeah.
awesome, bro. That
Yeah,
is
I'm
so awesome.
excited. Bro, we're gonna make some beautiful stuff.
Bro, you should make a podcast of your journeys. Like via the because this is a lot of information you're intaking. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot to digest right now.
Yeah, you have I mean, your passion speaks for itself, and it's evident in everything you do. And I think this is what is so inspiring to see someone that goes head first. I want it, I like it, and I gonna chase it until I bring it to light. And this is extremely exciting to see your journey.
Thank you so
Extremely.
much. This feels so good to be around you guys. Like it's rare for me nowadays to be around people that appreciate what I'm saying. Like this girl that I've been working with, Laura, she's an amazing motocross rider. She's from Germany, and when I first found her, I'm like, this girl does not belong. Like, what? How is this girl in Hawaii? She looks like she doesn't not belong. How the hell is this human being here? Basically, like everything culturally does not add up. But she actually was. So she rides street bikes, and she's like a porcelain, perfect looking woman, and speaks very well in English, but speaks pure German, and loves the culture. So I was like, dude, you're literally like a ticking time bomb ready to explode in fame. Like in the last month, she's grown her following 70,000 followers in a month. Okay, and she works really hard and she kills it. And so then it's just very interesting. The polar opposite of what you would ever expect in Hawaii is somehow here, alive. She has a kid, and she literally looks like a supermodel. It's very strange. So I told her, hey, would you like to make a show like about you learning my culture and riding your bike across the state, right? Like this crazy 1200 cc Yamaha, like a nuts one. She goes so fast. And so she's like, cool, yeah. And so then I told her, do you want to be like a part of my agency with the Echo? And she's just like, yeah. And like, I haven't met someone that's worked that hard in very long time. Like a girl, like this, the German strain. Germans go hard. And
Yeah.
so I've been talking to her about all of this because she needs to know about the culture. And basically you're going to see some perfect petite, perfectly looking chick, like beautiful on a street bike, pull up to just this knack auntie of the highest level. Like taking all those like influencer OnlyFans girls, but she doesn't have an OnlyFans, but just like influencer typical, right?
Yeah.
And
That kind
throw
of
them
type.
in the Lo'i field,
Yeah.
right? In their like street bike gear. And she's just like covered in mud and being taught the culture. She's not interviewing the auntie. The auntie's teaching her. So we're observing the teaching. The kapunas tell this haole from Germany that is literally the poster child for an influencer on the highest level, like super white skin, yeah, but beautiful, and teaching her our culture because that's the point, right? Now, if she's gonna say everything in German when she is narrating her show, so it'll start and she'll be bending down the coastline of, let's say the Pali and all like the highway and all the mountains, and you just see this purple Yamaha street ripping through the tunnel going super fast. And now all of a sudden there's German being narrated, her native language, right? German sounds sick. And then it's saying why and what she's doing here. And that because this is her new home and she has a son that's growing up, she wants to learn about this so she can be accepted in this. Like she wants to be a part of this community. But where I'm from in Germany, you cannot just be. You have to know the culture. You have to understand everything so you can be a part of this ohana. And so she reads her boy the book that I'm telling you about called Tales of the Night Rainbow as a nighttime story. And it's in this book that she realizes these beautiful things about the culture. So she goes on a hunt to go see and find the people's names in the book. You see what I'm saying? So it's basically me going to investigate the book.
Yeah.
And I'm taking her to be the one because mainland continental people will not follow me or you into these places, but they will
That's a
fall.
good idea. That's the angle to bring it to the people.
Yeah,
You bring
it's the
one of their
vehicle.
own
Yeah,
to do
Yeah,
that
yeah.
because I
The
see what
vehicle.
you're saying. That's the angle.
yeah. Not like the kind like David Muir or Anthony Bourdain where they just show up for a second. No, this person is here because they live here now.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out how to understand and be accepted into this culture because so many haoles and haole needs to, they need to change that definition behind it. It's not a bad thing. It's just a very nice description for someone with white skin.
Yeah.
But it's just so much hate behind it. They don't need to do that anymore. But it's, let's just kanaka haole, we'll call it. Okay. And so there's that element where she is coming, and then the Hawaiians, the gift, it's aloha. They're giving her the gift. So she's getting her degree in aloha, state of mind, in order to identify herself as a Hawaiian. You see what I'm saying? Identifying yourself as a Hawaiian is like, I'm Canadian. Like, you know, and it's always been that. And people have been very weird about it. It's like when John Florence went to the Olympics, everyone's like, why is he only the Hawaiian flag?
Damn right.
Because at the same time, they're like, you're not a Hawaiian. You know what I'm saying? Like, people tell him that sometimes, but I'm like, dude, we're all Hawaiians.
Yes.
Like, we're from here. This is what we represent. And then that's why it made me really happy when there are Hawaiians, even if it's for the right reason, but they're calling out Kaileni, being like, oh, like, why are you flying an American flag on 4th of July? Colonism. But what about what Kaileni's doing? You know, like, for Hawaii, representing Hawaii.
100%.
He reps, and Kai gets a lot of bad raps from activism in the community. But bro, if they knew what I have with Kai, with my movie, that is tributed to the homeless population and the homeless crisis of the world. Kai's movie, Piahi, the one that we at my film festival, that was an audience screening. So the audience was supposed to give notes. And I got notes, right? But everyone thinks that was the movie. No. Bro, it's so good right now. It's a perfect razor sharp 100 minutes. The best movie I have seen in like the last 6-7 years. It's like Karate Kid meets Slumdog Millionaire with 90-foot waves. Blue Crush is like something you would play as like a 30-second commercial on this level. It's so gnarly. And we got the biggest swell in the history of mankind when we were shooting. Like, dude, Akua was with us on this journey, and it's all about and Auntie Twinkle who just passed away, the one who runs we shot, she let me film in the camp, and I used that camp as my movie set for 3 weeks. And I gave her like, I think I gave her like $5,500 or something to pay the property tax for her new property of Malka to help pay. But I just gave her $5,500 as a donation for letting me film there. But I also sat down and I just asked her like, what's up? You mean like, how did you do it? And we spoke for 4 hours.
Wow.
I got the download, you know, I got the level, the blueprint. Yeah. And she's just gangster. She's like old school, like Kamehameha line. She's like 6'7". She's just like a huge Polynesian, massive, you know. And there are people that say things about her. There are people that don't say good and bad, right? But hey, if you're saying something, why don't I see you doing anything like that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, she's made miracles, bro.
Yeah.
And like, hey, she's gonna make Kai Lenny in my career too. When this thing comes out, right?
Yeah.
So that people kind of see that, like this moment right here, there will be something that comes out of it that changes my life in some way, whether it's now or way later. And I always keep track of anyone responsible. Like, I just sent a message to like someone I knew 15 years ago, and I told them like in 10 pages of a novel on their DMs how thankful I am for meeting them. Because like there's this girl that I thought was like the perfection of life, like the most beautiful person I've ever seen in my life. And she would come down to Kauai with a friend of hers once in a while, right? And every time she would come down, I felt that she liked hanging out with me because I was always the only person with her and the friend, because her friend was dating one of my best friends, but it just worked that way. And so like as we went on, it was like in my mind I was like I could never get this girl, but for some reason, the whole island loves this girl. They're obsessed, but she just wants to chill with me. The way she would look at me made me feel like she knew something about me, that I would become something great, and that she knew how special I thought I was. Because I always knew I was going to be great, but I would tell everyone, and they would laugh. Everyone where I grew up would laugh that I would become anything at all, and I'm the only human being to ever become anything out of that island. I just knew, but she felt like she knew. Okay, and so as life went on, when I was at home about to leave, I created this huge, vivid world and idea in my head that I am going to go and accomplish greatness on a level that is completely unfathomable, so I can attract a woman like that into my life. It was all for like love, like everything, like to find love, like happiness in another person. You will never find happiness in another person, okay? But that's what my mind thought. So
Yeah.
everything I did in my life, like everything, all like the Ruka stuff, all the movies, everything, Jason Momoa, all of it was for, first and foremost, the Hawaiian culture, because I want to go home and I want to be able to make it here, okay? Second off is to attract someone that loves the culture and loves me for doing that, right? And so that's the setup, because I didn't want to attract some random girl that had nothing to do with the culture, right?
Mhm.
And I've felt that. And so as I went through life looking for that, I was looking for the wrong things, like looking for someone that can look at me that way and make me feel that, right? That look. I feel that look every fucking day when I look in the mirror today. You see? Every
That's
day.
beautiful.
And the reason she made me feel that way, it's not because she saw it. She saw what I saw. We saw each other. We saw someone that is just like you. Like me, you guys, we're looking at each other. When I speak to you, I know I make you guys feel appreciated when I'm talking to you. It's because you're seeing yourself. We are mirrors. Now there's other people out there that are not mirrors. And it's so hard to find that special person that's a girl like us, because they're not. There's very few, right? When you're looking outside of a window on a hotel and you're looking at the highway and you see all these cars in traffic, that's the majority of the world. All of them will get along. All of them will marry. All of them will go to work every day, 9 to 5, and be content in life. Anyone in that line of cars, those girls will probably like you if you're the one looking with that mentality at the cars, because you're interesting, right? And then a lot of us end up with girls that would be in that line of cars, right? But the real people we're looking for are also the other people looking out the window. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we are not going to find those people because we're too busy doing our own shit. You know, we're doing this, but we're looking for it. And so it's really hard to find. So when you do, you cannot let that go. You cannot. You have to just figure it out. Don't home wreck a situation, because a lot of time when you meet them, they're married, right? And it's crazy, because when you do meet someone, it's like, God, why are you doing this to me? Yeah. And time goes on. And yeah, I had an experience like that a while ago where like I met my soulmate like a while ago, and then she was married, and like, you know, you do things you're supposed to, but like, you know, it's so much worse when you're like, okay, I gotta just say bye and you're gonna go home. Yeah. And it just creates a whirlwind of problems, and then like confuses you more. And it's not her. You finish each other's sentences because you guys are just like each other, right? It's not you. Just look in the mirror and smile and look at and understand what you become in life is going to make you love yourself more, right? Whatever you create, whether it's a child or your work, is the only thing that's going to make you happy, not someone else. If you're
100%.
expecting happiness from someone else, it's going to end in disaster. And I used to be one of those fucking people. I used to be one of those people that said, I can't be happy unless I have a girlfriend to serve. I would say it bluntly. Like, this is about 4 years ago. And then I realized, like, self-love and shit. I love myself, like, a lot. Like, and I always have. But I still wasn't happy. Because it wasn't about me loving myself. It was about me understanding who I am. Like, what I've done. And achieving those levels of consciousness. And understanding that, like, I don't need any woman I don't need any girlfriend. I don't need nothing in my life. Because if I do have a partner like that, I'm going to see them for who they are. I'm going to be proud of what they do. And I will not love them. I will respect them. Respect and loyalty are the only things that matter to me in this world. I don't give a shit if you love me, because love does not exist unless you have that respect and you have loyalty. Loyalty is you don't have sex with anyone else and you have my back. Respect is that you listen to me speak and I listen to you speak. You don't do dumb shit. You know, we work together. We understand each other. We don't get insecure when one is doing better than the other. That's real love. And to have that, you have to work at that all the time. You can't just be in love with someone. If you like don't have those two things, you go and cheat on the person. The loyalty is gone. You already lost half of it, right? And so maybe you can fix it one time, but regardless, you did that. You don't care or respect that person. You can't look at it as, oh, I love that person. No, you're obsessed with the comfortability. You're obsessed with the reliance. You're obsessed with the house you're living in. You're obsessed with what you have that you don't want to lose. You don't care, because if you did, all you would care about is that person. Just like all I care about is this project. People got to understand the definitions of love. I tell people I love you guys both, no problem. I do respect you guys, you know, but loyalty we have to establish and build.
100%.
You know what I mean?
But I think right now you're on the right track
Yeah.
of doing huge things that are amazing for yourself, for your circle, for your partner to be,
Yeah.
and for the whole community and for Hawaii itself. So you're doing more than enough, and for that reason, we have a little award for you.
What?
We
Oh,
have
that hammer.
we have the Aloha Hour
Oh my God! Thank you
Hammer
so much.
Award
Oh my God!
for everything that you did,
Well, this thing is so
for the
sick.
people around you, and for continue to do. And extremely appreciate everything that you brought to
I
the
love
table
it
today.
So much, bro. Thank you so much.
Add it to the collection, bro.
Bro,
You got like,
I was just talking about.
you got
this with
dubs
someone.
all over the place. You got
my
dubs
God.
from movie shows. You got dubs.
This
in,
is the sickest
in
award I've ever had in my
FCC.
life.
no.
Look at that. This is the hammer.
Yeah.
No, bro. This is big trips right here. In Kauai, if you're a hammer, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You definitely want hammer.
Fuck.
And this hammer will help you to build what you're about to build for us and for the community. And I can't wait to see the final product. And I know that you're in good hands with Restaurant Row, with
Yeah.
Steven Sullivan and them. You're
Yeah.
in good hands, and it's going to be an amazing journey. And I can't wait to see the final product,
Thank
man.
you so much, bro. I love this thing. It reminds me of the union days, like your shovel.
Yeah, you
5 hours at Home Depot trying to buy a shovel. This is so cool, bro. Thank you so much. No, you guys are killing it too. I'm so proud of everything you guys are doing, and especially with all of your businesses, man. That's really hard to do. Really hard to do.
Well, I want to ask you one last question, because I want to ask you this first question in the beginning, but you're such a tremendous speaker, bro.
Thank you.
But I want to ask what the feeling was like, or what the feeling, was like, now that we've gone through the conversation, of not being in control of any of this. Usually you're the guy behind there, and you are the guy who is orchestrating everything. But now you're on the opposite side, and everything's being done around you. How is that feeling for
in
you?
the context of just a little bit more context of particular to what topic, like
Filming,
like the
you
people
know.
are doing stuff.
You're
without
the
me?
actor
Because
now.
you are the guy in front of the camera.
Oh, in front of the
prior,
camera. Oh, okay.
Prior to you'd be setting up everything, you know, like
So it feels really good. Before I wasn't good enough to be in front of a camera, and I made a video of myself one time, and Jason's like, "Dude, you look terrible. You're way too self-aware." And I was like, "What do you mean, like bad?" And I looked, and I was like, and when he told me that, it just changed my life, because I was like, "Oh, I do look like shit," because I didn't know, I wasn't comfortable with who I was, and so when you're a bad actor, that's what happens. And so I looked at, I couldn't even stand the look anymore. And then I saw someone film me one time when I was working, and I looked badass. I was in my zone, you know? And then I was like, oh shit, okay, the campaigns can work maybe, because like I know I'm like decent looking, so I know that I'll look good if I'm being filmed. And so I just had behind the scenes people filming me a lot, right? And then I started seeing it, I started making videos of myself, and then I'm like, okay, and then I started acting in my own movies, and I started directing very, very amazing performances from people that didn't know how to act. And so then while I'm teaching them, I'm teaching myself. Then I would act just to face the fear, and I would
Yeah.
smoke my actors.
Yeah.
And so from there, then I earned the right to be on camera.
Yeah.
Right? I have to be a certain level before I do anything, expose myself. And so now I come here and I'll talk about Native Hawaiian tradition and history. I'll talk about governmental system, governments, or what I've done and my filmmaking, because I've earned the right to say those things,
Yeah.
and I've learned them. I couldn't talk about this when I thought about the idea 2 years ago because I didn't know enough. I have to be able to say something, and if you have something to say, I have to be able to counter it, or I have to be able to sit there and be like, you know what, I was wrong. Can you please tell me? Because I love being wrong. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
Being wrong, I'm obsessed with. If you prove me wrong, I will get on my knees and thank you, because you just made me smarter than you know. And the more that you are wrong, the more you can be right, and the more you learn, and the more you validate. And I that's the biggest takeaway I have for everybody is repeat every day. Like, I'm obsessed with being wrong so I can find the right answer. And your mind will begin to do that on its own. It'll start to fix everything in your mind. All the things that you believe are true, you're going to start seeing them pop up in the middle of whatever. You won't know. It'll just start calibrating. And then the next time you go and do what you're good at, you're going to be 10,000 times better. I don't pick up the camera for a year. I pick it up on Piahi, and I am 10 times better than I was the year before. And it's like you're editing the movie and you're seeing the problems. When you're looking to see what's wrong, you're trying to find the problem. Your mind's fixing them without you knowing. And then when you pick up that camera, it's as simple as walking, but the way you walk is different, but you didn't try to make it different, right? And so that comes from telling yourself, I'm obsessed with being wrong so I can learn the right answer. Like,
Yeah.
because then that'll make the world a better place. All arguments come from people not wanting to be wrong.
Yeah.
Right? And I love when I'm wrong. I really do. I'm like, oh, you're right. You know, you're right.
Yeah.
What do you think? I get excited. You know, it's that. But that's what debates, right?
Yeah.
How much better is it if you have a Native Hawaiian kapuna talking to another Native Hawaiian, kahea, right? And they're talking, but the kahea has more proof. What if the kapuna was like, you know what? Could be. Let's see the research. And you
Yeah.
see a collaborative.
Compare notes. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden on live TV, they're like, you know what? This is a possibility. Why don't we all do our own research? No, they rather argue. It was this way. It was that way. Shame on everybody, bro. Like, that's not the style. That's not the way. And like, I'll say it flat out, bro, because I have earned the right to say it through the education I have given myself, because I know I can't get that education from school, because the stuff I'm looking for, they don't teach you. They teach you what's been written.
Yeah.
My archive, theecho.com, it's a fashion line. It's all this stuff. The clothes have the mo'olelos written into them. The legends are on the clothes, and the clothes are the color or the lohala. It's all symbolized. Every piece of clothing is an archive. Every video is an archive. Every podcast is an archive. Everything we make, the songs, it's all made to preserve and elevate our culture, making anything we make an archive to perpetuate it. Because if we don't do nothing, the Hawaiian culture is going to go extinct in 10 years. 10 years. There's 2,000 people, roughly, that speak Olelo. 2,000. Then 95% are baby boomer generation. Every word they know, they have their own definition of what it means. The Hawaiian system, Olelo, every word has an origin story. That's how we know our history. Not a definition. It has an origin story. The words are stories. And without the real language, not that bullshit translated in English over here. I'm talking about the Kumulipu, the one that Liliuokalani had to translate. Okay, why did she have to translate it? They all know how to speak Hawaiian, because that's the original language. It's different, you know what I mean? And so there are people in the Big Island, a lot, that have the lineage still. There are people in Kauai, and there are people out there. And if you're a niece or a grandchild or anybody of that cousin, brother, sister, your mom, take your fucking phone and go record them tell you everything they have lived through, and I'll buy it from you, or you can contribute it to the archive, because we need to cover all of that. Because if we lose that generation left, our culture goes extinct. And imagine you as a Hawaiian, you don't have an identity. You don't get to call yourself Hawaiian because it doesn't exist anymore. It's just a shell of cultural tourism. And we're heading that way in 10 fucking years. And who brought us there? Okay? We all know. People came before us. And so it's our job to not be bad examples or bad parents or bad whatever like they were. And to stop caring about whatever bullshit you have in your life. Like your girlfriend left you, your boyfriend left you, like you don't have a job. And shut the fuck up and do something with your life. Get off the ground. You have no excuse. I came from red dirt on a hole of pour. I've been through more hellfire and fear. I've been to prison. I've had my heart broken bigger than anyone can fathom. I have broken bones, bled. Nobody I know from here has experienced more than I have. None. And I don't deserve to be treated badly by anybody. And I just want to help everyone, inspire them to be something great. And I can confidently say that like 90% of the people I see out there are being fucking selfish. And they need to care not about themselves, but about the cultural identity of what they call themselves. You want to call yourself a Hawaiian? Then none of your issues in your life should matter. The issues of the people and the culture and the state of what things are should fucking matter. You know, the fact that you can't rent a place on your own land should matter, not what you're doing in life, right? Sacrifices are very small. Like your kid's always going to be there. Why don't you dedicate a month of your life to a cause so they cannot be there forever in that position, right? So yeah, I just want to turn up and tell it like it is. Like everybody's got to stop thinking about themselves and thinking about who or what can bring the culture to a place where we are all worth money for being Hawaiian. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Let's go, bro. Thank you so
brother.
much, bro.
Of course, bro. I love you. Thank you so
Love you,
much.
brother.
Thank you.
Love
Mahalo.
you,
Aloha.
brother. Thank you so much for
bro.
coming.
Thank you. Of course.
Thank you.
Well, should we take a photo here?
Oh, yeah.
All right.